Hey,
well, it's good. It's on now.
Dave Jack's punishing himself by muting.
Well,
I'm
I
back.
will. Yes, everybody, hello, welcome to Monday night and another episode of the Critical Fail. We are the Critical Fail. We are a group of veteran and some novice role players. We are doing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Descent into Avernus, which we also just like to call Another Day in Hell. I am the Dungeon Master. My name's Mark. I also Dungeon Mastered the last campaign that we did called Everyone Dies, in case you saw that one. That was a super short little campaign, took only 8 years to finish. And children were born, jobs were lost, and presidents were there and gone, countries collapsed. All the while, we just played our merry little fucking game. It was awesome. Hopefully, we can do it again. Right now, I'm not sure exactly which episode we're on, but our characters are basically they have gone through Duke Thalmara Van Thamper's manor. She was nowhere to be found, but they did manage to kill one of her sons, Thirstwell, sort of a decrepit kind of a invalid who had like a little army of imps that he used as his eyes and ears around the city. Here, let me. Hold on. I've got a picture of him. Where is good old Thirstwell? Thirstwell, there he is. So that's the guy. And he had an infernal puzzle box on him, which the characters picked up. Now, there's no telling what's inside, but hopefully they will find that out. They also they met with and got some information from his brother Mortlock, who basically gave information useful to the players against his own family because his family tried to murder him. Let's see, what else do we have? They also met with, kidnapped, and were dragging around the Van Thamper Manor one Amric Van Thamper, the third of the Van Thamper brothers, who is right there. And these are all the three sons of Duke Thalmara Van Thamper. She is one of the Dukes of Baldur's Gate, of which there are 4. The other 3 being
Dukes of Thamper.
Kuhn, Elder Ravengard, and the 4th one is unimportant. I've got his name here somewhere, but I want my pencil. But there is a 4th Duke. Now, the characters again, they went down. They found a temple to some sort of devil worshipping cult beneath the manor. They
evil.
killed a bunch of cultists, including some actual devils that looked like where is it? This guy here.
Better not be a picture of me.
This here guy, a barbed devil, and then there was a smaller version of that.
A barbed
they also
devil.
ran into. Now they have also now found a. Oh yeah, Thunder in the Morning is also who we're missing. Because
no, he's here. He just went to go do something.
Oh, that's right. He's cooking. But he found this little adorable guy, the family cat named Slobberchops, who is a winged cat.
It's my new familiar, because I'm
yes.
going to become something that needs a familiar.
Like, had no reason to do that before, but now this is your new life quest. I wanted it for all my life for the last 15 minutes. And let's see. I believe that kind of brings us up to where we are right now. We are in the manor. Guards have been dispatched.
I thought we were up at the.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot. Yes.
Rhea.
Stop moving me around. That's not where I
Rayan.
was. I saw that. I got moved.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just gathering up these tokens here. Gathering tokens so that I can get everybody together, so that I can hopefully move
Yeah,
everybody.
the gathering of the tokens.
Haha, tokens. Oh, boy. Again,
Now that
my
we
blade
have
computer.
assembled our list of the dramatis persona, we'll have one last look, and I will delete them. Bye bye.
Okay, now our characters had set up a. That's right, I had forgotten the very last thing that we did. I believe, and I made a note of this myself. Yes, PCs in Upper City and horses sent around to Basilisk Gate. Rendezvous at Basilisk Gate to head to Little Calamshan. So the characters are looking for a safe place to spend the night, away from prying eyes and the possibility of some angry,
Thanks for
flaming
subbing, Grinning Floyd.
traitor flaming fist people that might be coming after them.
Oh, thanks for your
And
gift, Badger on the Green.
oh,
Oh,
thank you for
awesome.
gifts. We enjoy gifts. But that basically brings us to where we're at now. Our characters did send horses around. As Baldur's Gate has this interesting rule: no beasts of burden, no horses, donkeys, mules, or other types of animals are allowed within the city gates unless you are part of the city watch in the upper city. Now, that is the hard and fast rule for the lay people. However, they managed to procure these horses. These are draft horses at the Van Thamper Manor, because the manors usually have large grounds that need taken care of, and that can be they are allowed to do and house animals of horses and stuff like that on their own property. They're just not allowed in throughout the main city. So our characters are going around the gate, and so here, let's go to Baldur's City Gate here, and let's move everybody. Boom.
Now my eyes hurt. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's taking a while. It looks kind of like a Jackson Pollock painting to me right now. It's all super low res.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I got it.
Thank
All
you
right.
for the sub, Badger on the Green.
So here is where our characters drop the horses off. Basically at Blackgate, outside Black Dragon Gate, which is a sort of outer city area, and most specifically at
It's right
Garen
there.
Moore Stables. And Garen Moore Stables actually has a number of outfits throughout the city, as you will see, including right over here. There's another Garen Moore Stables and Menagerie outside Basilisk Gate. Now, again, they're going through Basilisk Gate, which is here, to get to Little Calamshan, which is in the outer city, and it's its own like tiny metropolis. It is a walled city in and of itself, and a couple of our characters have contacts within that city. It is going to be getting close to supper time by the time our characters get there. And again, let's do introductions first. My name is Mark.
Thanks,
I'm the
Nada.
Dungeon Master. And thank you for humoring me as I went through that recap as quickly as I possibly could without delving too deeply into the minutia. But let's go with our other introductions. First of all, definitely the guy responsible for putting together this whole Twitch thingy and knows the YouTubes and how to work an internet. That would be Lucius Devalin. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what you do?
Thank you so much, God. My name is Lucius Davalin, and I am a half-drow, half-elven drow, from Little Calamshan. You see, I was an orphan on the streets there, and I was requisitioned by the House of Elton. I was given a place to live, a means of providing for myself, and all they asked for was a lifetime of service. I, of
That's it.
course, am honored to have the privilege of serving in House Elton. And I have, I'll just say, I guess, I've been trained in the arts of uh, bardery, if that's such a word.
Bartery.
Bardery. Um, but
Not buggery.
not buggery, but bardery.
Bardery.
And not bard-y.
Although the distinctions get a little muddy.
Here's my
Yeah.
plate of meat.
here's my plate of meat.
Plate of meat.
Yeah, so before this gets too out of hand, I shall pass it over to Jared the Hellhound Kincaid.
Well, if you've got a problem and you need help, and if you can find it, perhaps you can hire the Hellhound. I am the Baron of Beatdown, the Count of Crunch, the Duke of Death Dealing, and the King of Kicking Ass. And if absolutely something needs to be destroyed overnight, set on fire, and the ass is pissed on, accept no substitutes. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Kincaid.
Accept no
So I am a paladin of sorts who's had a little bit rough go of it. A similar problem that befell the House Elton happened to mine. So I actually made my way to Baldur's Deep looking for some contacts to see if I could figure out who this was and wreak some righteous vengeance upon that ass, if you may. And along the way, an old friend of my family contacted me, who happens to not necessarily be on the material plane. And through the course of that, and sort of slightly taking advantage of my thirst for vengeance, I've started to dabble into the world of the warlock. And it's actually becoming quite interesting as we're balancing out some things we're finding along the way with, say, for lack of a better term, the old family friend kind of whispering in my ear here and there. So with that, I would like to turn it over to perhaps the straight man of the group, the vanilla to everybody else's chocolate thunder, Mordecai the Magnificent.
I knew as soon as you said straight man, that was coming to me. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is Joey Joe, and I play Mordecai the Magnificent. Yes, that's right. And I am the illusionist of the group. And I like to add a little bit of flavor to things, I suppose. What's going on in Morty's life right now? I've got a bit of the whole interesting whisper thing going on too, so I'm really looking forward to connecting with Jaren when we finally get out of the tunnels, which we are, I suppose. Yeah, we're just really 4 levels in and really just kind of gaining traction into the story. So it's next couple of sessions should be fun. And with that, I'll pass it on to Thunder in the Morning. Bring it on, meat man.
The meat eater.
My name is Matt. I play Thunder in the Morning. Thunder in the Morning is a Tabaxi paladin. He hailed from the west side, where the east side, the some side. Thunder in the Morning is a Tabaxi. He does talk to people very much, not very smart, but he does like to kill things. For paladin, he is of the order of the Leroy Jenkins. So it's Leroy, the Leroy Jenkins, the Leroy Jenkins. He is going to, he had a kitty now. He liked the kitty, and the kitty can fly. So he liked the kitty. He has a kitty, had wings. Thank you. I pass to who's left? Grin?
Yeah, Grin can go. Well, thank you, Thunder. That was short but pointless. So I'm Greg, and I play Peregrine Ghostwind, also known as Grin, a human fighter, sailor of the seven seas, a pirate, or at least a former pirate, trying to make a more legitimate way through life, though he's finding that difficult, seeing as people expect to have their debts repaid and things like that. So he is joining up with this group in hopes to find some adventure and make some money and find some interesting companions. And I think I've definitely the third one has happened. We'll see about the other two. And I will pass it on to, has Darius, have you gone yet?
I have not, sir.
All right, well, last but certainly, absolutely not the least, seeing as he is a half-orc. Darius, everyone returns to the coda.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alan, and I play Darius, Coda of Waterdeep. I am a bard. Do not let the slightly greenish-grey skin fool you. I can more than carry a tune. And I have attached myself to this group at first by happenstance, now by want. There is something about this crew specifically that makes a good tale. There are too many creatures in this world of Faerun who shine and sparkle in their glory. This crew, it's no stretch to call them slightly ragtag, and underdogs and or cats, given whatever circumstance we're talking about. And I do see an epic tale in the making. So I have started to pen my own work, title TBA. Yes, that's all. I now return it to our glorious dungeon master.
Yay. Well, thank you, everybody, for those wonderful introductions. We do have a couple other players who are not here currently, one of which is the lovely Elsa Elton, played by Courtney. Elsa is the heir to the Elton noble family fortune and is sort of the reason why everybody is in this giant mess. On the eve of her 20th birthday, when she would have taken over the leadership of the family from the steward. The steward had a coup, basically murdering all the other loyal members of the family, except for the player characters that you find here. And they have been both on the run and also on the lookout for clues to see if they can determine who is behind it, which they have now got a lot of very positive confirmation that or at least evidence that it was perpetrated by the Van Thampers for the purpose of undermining the authority of the Flaming Fist, as the Flaming Fist was first founded by Elton of House Elton about 100 and some years ago. So Elsa is a long down the chain descendant, the sole surviving heir. And so far, it seems as though not all of the Flaming Fist has turned traitor, as one of the characters that or one of the NPCs the characters have run into, a guy by the name of Zod, a captain in the guard, is either he does not care or has not heard about this sort of change in command, but he has been a contact of theirs that has proved loyal. Another who hopefully will be showing up in the not too distant future is Riz, played by Marcus, but I'll wait for him to do his whole intro when he gets here. So for the time being, I will be NPCing Elsa, which the players love. That as when I play her, they call her Karen Elsa, because I demand to see the manager about the shoddy conditions of this inn. Because I am a noble and my name is Elsa Elton. But so this brings us to our characters. You will exit through the Basilisk Gate. I have something for this. Basilisk Gate. Somewhere here.
Yes. Where are you, Basilisk Gate? There it is. Right
Right
here.
around the west side.
Let's see.
Just Mark, can you catch me real quick on something? Did Coogs and Amric run up? They're still on their own, right?
Yes. Right?
He was trying to find. Yeah, that's one of the things why he kind of needs to be here. But he will make his way to you guys. He lost the trail through the busy crowded streets of the upper city.
Oh, and we lost fucking Amric too. That really chaps me.
He's your favorite.
He's everybody's favorite. We all love to hate him.
He is definitely a real cunt. Let's see. Gates.
Tell us how you really feel.
Where is the Basilisk Gate? I swear it's around here somewhere.
Basilisk Gate?
Are you looking at the same map that I am? Because I'm pinging it.
Oh no, sorry. I'm looking in the whatchamacallit, the actual
the knowledge giver
book. That's right. Weird. There's no appendix. There's no glossary. Bastards.
It had its appendix removed.
It had appendicitis.
And I hope it was painful, bastards. Let's see.
The gates seem to be in red on this map. Basilisk Gate?
There we go.
Here,
Good old
I'll ping
Google
it again for you. Boom. Boom.
The Basilisk Gate is a gate and local landmark in Baldur's Gate, situated in the outer city wall that separated the lower city district of Eastway from the outer city district of Stony Eyes. The gate acts as an eastern passageway in and out of the city along the coastway, which passes through the outer city and eventually connects to the lands of intrigue. Basilisk Gate is distinctive in that it is lined with a number of statues, particularly those of prominent deceased patriarchs or the noble families. It says after an effigy of Entar Silvershield was placed above the gate, it then became traditional to honor prominent Baldurians past and present in this manner. So as you pass by, it is very much, if anyone has seen, pictures of, St. Peter's Basilica, it is lined around the edges with all these marble statues of saints and past popes. And so this is very similar.
I've been to St. Peter's Basilica.
The what?
I've been there. It's pretty.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the size of that place is absolutely mind-boggling.
No joke.
Seeing as I've only performed here twice, I will not expect to see my statue. But I'm working.
You're missing a statue.
I'm working towards it.
And that brings you out to the Stony Eyes region. Stony Eyes.
Stony Eyes.
Stony Eyes.
Everybody's got their own Stony Eyes tonight.
Oh dear.
So the smell of the Stony Eyes district is the first thing
Thank you for the sub, Duck Duck.
that strikes you. It is smell of pungent manure. As just outside the Basilisk Gate that gives it its name, the neighborhood is full of stables and stockyards. Many outer city residents who work within the city live here to be as close as possible to the places of business. And you happen to know there is a significant number of half-orcs that seem to be working as laborers and porters. Obviously due to their, better than average strength and constitution, they seem well fitted to, hauling goods, and especially a lot of, as there are stockyards, you see a half-orc laborer carrying a full-grown steer over his shoulders, with nary a grunt as he brings it out off to the slaughtering area.
Are any of them singing or playing musical instruments?
Just the one with you.
That was.
Damn,
that was,
I was hoping to form a half-orc barbershop quartet.
Grin. That is. That was unnecessary.
Horribly racist.
I do kind of take my feather in my cap and kind of like lay it back a little bit so it's less pronounced. Also, I kind of take my cloak and pull it around myself a little bit more and hunch a little bit as I note these workers.
Interesting.
I strut through like a captain of the guard.
Yes.
That I am.
It is as you there are throngs of refugees outside the gates, as since the fall of El, which is now roughly 12 days. It was 10 days from the Red birthday party, which was 3 days ago. So it's been about 13 days, almost 2 weeks since the fall of El, the apocalyptic event that seemed to drive out all the residents from the city. And
So you're saying it looks like Poland right now?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Not to breed. Is that too soon?
Well, I mean,
once again, let us refrain from pulling too much reality into our fantasy evenings. We've gone from financial reality to some very depressing reality. Let's deal with the depressing reality of Baldur's Gate, shall we?
and on that note, no, I actually that's a legit question though. Are there a ton of refugees? I mean, didn't this allegedly this city just fucking disappear?
True. Yes.
So
yes.
Wouldn't there then be not a lot of refugees because they're gone?
Well, good question.
There are six of them.
Like if you look at the city of Baldur's Gate, imagine everything inside the gate, inside the walls itself disappears, but you still have all of the outer city, which is a lot of people, and they're freaking the fuck out because all of a sudden, they say where the city was, it's a giant smoky crater, and so they're getting the fuck out of there because they don't know what in the hell is going on.
Okay, so then, like, what was the population of that city?
Of El Terrell?
El Terrell.
Let us look. I
can
think
roll
it was
on
around
do a history check.
Yeah, I can. Unless I just know it.
You give him that, and you won't give me the hit points of the people I'm
We
fighting?
have very different character builds.
Come on, man! I'm just trying to figure out how many hit points are left.
It was roughly just over 25,000 was the main population, and that does include the outer city as well as the inner city. So you can imagine the population of the outer city was probably a full 20 to 25%.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Good.
I was giving it more than that. I figured more of the people were poor.
Yeah, but it was
increasing.
Well, there's plenty of poor people inside the wall as well. It's just the outside is more of the rural area. Again,
Right.
You've got
it's the burbs.
Yeah,
and they're not letting these refugees into like the city proper.
Correct.
They're all gathering outside the walls.
Yes, and some of them have been there for, again, almost 2 weeks, or well, it takes a good probably, I think it takes about a week's worth of travel, maybe 5-6 days to get from El Terrell to Baldur's Gate on foot. But so that means some of them probably have been here for about a week. Again, conditions are pretty horrid. It looks like there are a lot of beggars. They are
Beggars can't be choosers.
Who's
yes, they're setting up shanties, lean-tos, trying to make do of what they can, which has made a lot of the businesses outside of the gate not very happy.
Now you're talking about LA. Why do you do this? Like, Jesus, I mean, come on.
Art imitates life. What can I say?
So who's responsible for dealing with this humanitarian crisis?
Well, basically, it kind of falls on the Flaming Fist, and you got it from Zodge. That since they don't know what the fuck happened to El Terrell, the Dukes had said, we're shutting the gates until we can definitively find out what went on. Because if it was, they don't know, it could have been a plague.
How many? Okay, so then I need to know how many people are out there. Who's doing that counting? Somebody's
right
doing
now. You see, I would say hundreds outside the gate right now.
Okay.
Rough estimate, you're probably looking at under 500, but probably more than 200.
Okay.
And that's just outside the gate. You can see, like tents and lean-tos stretching down the way there. The whatchamacallit,
those numbers.
trade road.
Those numbers seem to make sense for like an evaporation event.
Right.
We're gonna call that an evaporation event.
And that's just outside this gate. That's outside the Basilisk Gate.
Right.
There's the Black Dragon Gate up front.
No, I was counting the gates and I was listening to your maths. And
yeah.
then I was I was doing my own little actuarial work for death by evaporation of city versus what population would be outside of that area potentially, and real playing real loose and fast with the numbers,
That's right. Now you're gonna go and get a real quick survey. Did you have any pre-existing conditions, sir?
I was told there would be no math.
Yeah. Thank you, Chevy.
Shit out of luck there.
So in order to get out, basically, the guards, the Flaming Fist guards at the gate, give you a little bit of gruff. They're like, hey, we've got the gates shut for a reason. Nobody goes in or out, but all you have to do is mention Zodge, and they'll begrudgingly let you go.
Does it give the feeling that I mean, just trying to think of myself in a large city behind a wall, and we're leaving that wall. Does it feel like perhaps it's going to be swimming? Well, it's going to be difficult to come back in through this.
It seems like right now, anytime the gate opens and shuts there, which you have yet. You've seen it once. You get people kind of get up from what they're doing, and they try to make their way towards it, and that's when a small company of squad of Flaming Fists go out, and they basically cordon off the area. It's almost like riot patrol. They make sure they clear the area of the gates, sometimes using clubs and giving people a good whack upside the head, just for good measure.
Again, just like LA.
Just like right. And then, but once the gates shut, then people kind of resign themselves to go back. And it's so anytime the gates open, you get cries, pleas for help, and just please let us inside. You don't understand. We've been out here for days. There's no clean water. But we have money. We can pay you. So it's
you can pay. Are you pay? We could start up new smuggling ring.
Right. But it's you're pretty confident that because you have the writ and the badges from Zaj, you will be able to get back in. As let's see now, Thunder and Lucius and I forget who it was last session, but they had to travel outside of the Black Dragon Gate to get to the stables, and it was the same way. They got in, got back within 15 minutes or so, and the guards let them right back in. So.
How do you spell Zaj?
Zodge.
Okay. And you said we have a badge and writ from him?
Yes.
I have a badge.
Yes. You all have badges deputizing you as deputies in the Flaming Fist. Good, bad, or otherwise.
Wasn't I already a captain?
Well, you were the captain of the city guard, or sorry, not the city guard, of the
house
guard. Yes. So you, although Elton is the founder of the Flaming Fist, you don't have any
let's just say that there's some bullshit.
But you do like the most, Zaj recognized you, you and Zaj. Yeah. So even though you don't have a formal rank, you do have a lot of input and sway with those that are
still loyal.
Correct. An interesting thing happens as you are walking out. You see there is a merchant and a gate guard are arguing apparently over how to accurately measure and compare the sizes of an unusually small donkey and an exceptionally large peacock. Because the merchant seems to be arguing that since the donkey is so small, he should fall under the aviary rules for the price for stabling. Well, the Flaming Fist guard is saying, well, it doesn't matter how small that donkey is or how large the peacock is. It's the donkey has to pay the donkey price. I don't care if you can put him in a peacock cage. And they will look to the party as you guys are walking out. And let's see.
I just don't really think it matters. You're all going to listen to the Flaming Fist guard.
They the Flaming the merchant actually he sees Jaren as you tend to be the closest one, and he says he says, good sir, could you please come and settle this discussion I'm having with this terribly short-sighted guard here. He seems to be under the impression that an animal's size and weight have no bearing upon the tax and the tariff for which they should be subjected to. Now, my argument is, as you can see, this is a donkey, yes, but it is an unusually small donkey, very small of stature, can actually fit inside the cage of a peacock. But he's still arguing that it needs to pay the donkey tariff. However, if you look at the size of this peacock, now this peacock is easily 1.5 times the size of the donkey. However, under this rule, that donkey is going to be paying a larger tariff than this here peacock. Now tell me, does that not sound odd to you?
Shut up.
Oh, that hurts me.
I just walked right past him, like fucking whatever. And I put my claw in his face and just struck right past him.
Well, that was quite rude.
I walk past and I say, I apologize for the cat.
I literally just crawled through a fucking sewer. I don't have time for this shit.
I apologize for the cat, but I too have no interest in your argument.
And he kind of looks and he's like, well, thank you at least for being polite about it. And you, sir, you look like a man. He's addressing Jaren. He says, you look like a man of intelligence. You look like a well-traveled man, perhaps even of the merchant ilk yourself, perhaps. I'm thinking that your sound judgment in this here matter could could be worth let's say half of the difference of the tariff.
Is there some reason you're addressing me at this moment? I think you can see that we're wet, tired, we smell of animal dung, blood, perhaps offal. And frankly, my friend, the pirate, is carrying a very large bag of gold that I would desperately attempt you to try to take from us right now.
He looks at you and he says, oh, I did not mean to offend. I am sorry, sir. Judging by that strong jawline and very well oiled cloak, I believe that you were a man of weights and measures. Never mind. Let me not bother you any further.
I'll step up to him. Excuse me, sir.
What's Jaren saying?
Is your donkey for hire?
Push that donkey.
Well, I
Push that
suppose,
donkey now.
Jaron, that would be we'd need to figure out the fee based on the system of weights and measures that we're utilizing.
He says, "Well,
I pull a dagger out and I put it right at his face. Not another fucking word."
He says, yes. He says, absolutely.
You guys have no idea the rage that is going on in my head right now. The screaming voices. All I can hear is people like this demonic female laugh. I hear thunder.
Are you saying this out loud?
And then I have this guy with a donkey in front of me begging me to take his ass. So at this point, I'm going to hire his ass.
He will say,
if I can give him one like a small donation of coin, I will gladly have him carry all of our belongings to whichever tavern that we are heading to, if he will be silent for the rest of the 24-hour period. And I will gladly not remove his tongue at this point.
Yes, he says he is absolutely willing to hire out the donkey for porter services. The daily price for the donkey is 5 silver.
Now, Jaren, and I'm going to kind of whisper to you while you're saying this. You understand we have several draft horses waiting for us.
No, frankly, I was not paying attention. I was still trying to get shit off my boots.
Before you give this man any gold, yeah.
I'll take his donkeys at this point.
But if you are interested,
all my stuff.
Yeah, if you are interested, then yes, the price would be 5 silver. Although small in stature, he is large in carrying capacity. Very good donkey, him. Good stock.
So at this point, Mark, I would like to actually make a perception check to see what I can understand about this man. While that is happening, or as part of that, I would also like to reach out with my divine sense to see if I can ascertain anything untoward or evil about his presence.
All right.
Ish.
What's up, Riz?
Oh, there he is.
Come on, guys.
What up, home slice?
We are in another fine predicament, negotiating over an ass. So
we are trying to decide.
We're negotiating over a little ass and a big cock.
With feathers, big feathers.
Sounds like a typical Monday night.
Hey man, we ain't even talking about the little Asian guy who got rolled up in a freaking carpet yet. It's all coming together.
It's all something.
Now, from your senses, this just seems like
we're trying to
We're
decide.
negotiating over a
it's
little
just sort of a
ass
typical
big cock.
daily encounter that a lot of these flaming fists, these gate guards have to deal with this kind of shit on a daily basis. However,
Typical Monday night.
if you would like to hire said donkey is for sale, or at least for rent.
Very well, then. I'll pass you over the coin. One quick question. What was your name again?
His name is somewhere here.
Mark is desperately going to the Google create NPC nickname.
His name is
friendly
Gilix.
dungeon master tip: always have a window open on your PC screen or a piece of paper that you can gander down at with random names, because players will always ask what
What's
that
your name? That's
fucking
right.
third guard from the left is called.
Now describe yourself in detail. What color are your eyes? Hair color? Is he shaved? Mustache? His name is Gilix. Gilex Warren. Warne.
Did you just say it's Glex 1? Number 1?
Gilix Warren.
What the fuck are we doing with this gate?
Guillermo. Very well done. So
I don't know. I was gonna try to work the stuff out
at
and
this
move
point,
on,
I'll
but
put my
Jared
hand on his
decided.
shoulder. Like, we're obviously very tired. We're going to offload some of our equipment to you. Now, please understand we do have some draft forces on the way. However, you do strike me as a man who knows his way around the city. Tell me more about yourself.
He says, "Well, I am a traveling merchant. I tend to procure beasts, not only of the mundane nature, but as you can see, unusual beasts like this very small but able donkey, and this unusually large but still very brightly plumed peacock. Now, the stables also has a menagerie, so I tend to do a lot of business with the Garenmore stables, procuring animals of interest for the menagerie, and also more mundane beasts of burden for their stables.
Very well.
I am very familiar with Stony Eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, no, I am very familiar with the Stony Eyes neighborhood. I can tell you which stable masters are worth their salt, which will try to con you out of a good day's labor, for an inadequate beast. I am at your service.
Excellent. We are a very interested group in the doings of Baldur's Gate. And I think you're just exactly the man that can tell us exactly what's going on here. You seem to understand your way around the city. We like that. And frankly, we're hiring. We've had a run of good luck recently, and we're actually employed by the Flaming Fist. So your work would not go unnoticed by leaders of the city.
Oh, well, I am at your command, my lord.
Excellent. Have you ever given a cat a bath?
I have never actually given a cat a bath. Quite a few
Don't
dogs.
worry, we're here to broaden your horizons. We'll have some things for you to do at the Elf Song. So
Well, I
with
should
that,
say so.
we gathered Guillermo, which is his new party name. And I'll throw a few bags and random things on the back of his
Just pick
ass.
up another retainer.
And,
Is that what he did?
I will then gesture with a small flourish to my friend Mordecai. Please, lead on. We're ready to follow.
Awesome.
What just happened? Do we have a? Yes, well, I do that too.
Oh, let your imagination run wild.
Give me 1 second here. I need to make that.
So what just happened? Did you just buy a donkey?
No. We leased
The
a donkey.
service
Or an
of-
ass, if you will. We've leased an ass.
Leased an ass. Yes, I think I've leased a few asses over in the.
I think there's that place called Blushing Mermaid. I hear
Not-
it is great.
Not the best ones over here. You have to go to the upper city for that. But
Fair
Yeah,
point.
there he is. There's our man.
Nice.
Oh,
At this
Oh.
point, I'm glad I
Gonna
put my
have a
claws
lot
in
of
his
fun
face
with
and
this
said,
group.
"Shut up."
Yeah. He does say he will require the day's payment in advance.
Very well then. I'll hand him 5 silver.
It does kind of look like someone I would say, yes, I'm sorry for that, but I'm not interested either. It does. I do think I did. I was correct.
And he takes you to the Garenmore stables, and menagerie, which is just down the road, where you can pick up your draft horses
All right.
that have been delivered.
All right. Now, does he look just like this picture?
He looks, yes. So he doesn't have the little he has
The question is really, can we buy potions off of him?
Yeah,
I think.
that's
I really
that's what
think
I'm
that's
asking.
what the question
No,
was.
he's got those really aren't potions. Most of those are different animal
Urine.
elixirs,
Perfume. So he sells
oils
perfume.
for
they're
Different
oils,
animal urine.
They're oils from various
Musk.
reptiles. Like
Does he have musk?
Different animal urine for trapping and hunting.
I think it's musk and urine.
Yes.
I'm sorry, musks and
musky
urine.
urine.
Or urine.
Gross. Look, as a full-sized 7-foot cat, I would know what animal urine smells like. Just saying.
Yes,
We need to keep
yes,
moving.
you would.
So
I'm
can
rather
you,
a connoisseur of urine.
can you confirm or disconfirm? You're in a rather unique position, my dude.
Other
And
Baba want me to talk in the accent, so you know that animal urine. I know what the animal urine is. I know what it is not, and it's not the animal urine.
Wow.
We're in really close the room together.
horny.
So the answer is no. I can't. We can't buy potions.
I desperately need somebody with a low-level cantrip that can translate.
I've got speak or comprehend language, but
Oh my god, that would be so useful.
but that's a first level spell for me. I gotta really want to do it,
Yes, you.
Like in all fairness, I think once we pick our stuff up, what actually destination are we heading to once we have offloaded all of our spoils and stuff? Which are we going back to the Elf Song or some other location first?
After we fence all of our loot.
Yeah,
We
where are
just
we
need to
doing
do
that?
double
well,
check to
figure-
see if
figure
any
we
of
need
that
to,
loot's magical.
Pick a spot that we're heading to that we can kind of control that's relatively safe. We can let you kind of do your fencing work, and then we can do a quick round of like rest, whatever. And if there's a local potion
Yeah,
here, we
what's-
can probably grab some stuff before we.
Yeah,
move
DM,
to the next-
what would be a good place for us to go? Like that he's looking for? Do I know of a place that would give us a place that we could rent for like a room we could rent that also is known to have certain businessmen plying their trades there?
In
Well,
Little Calamshan?
In Little Calamshan, sure, or in North Chapel.
Or Whitkeep.
Yeah, North Chapel is it's known as the quietest of the outer city neighborhoods. It caters to those residents willing to pay a little more than usual for the protection money to the guild in exchange for having their safety and security. So this is a is well known as a guild-run neighborhood, but as such, it is also relatively crime-free, and it's more of a safer neighborhood. Well, and then that will bring you to Little Kalimshan itself.
Yeah, before we, it was a good point though. Before we sell any of this stuff, can someone do like a detect magic on everything?
Not until we rest, my friend.
Yeah, but that's all. That's why I'm wondering about, because we can get a room somewhere.
Barely stay awake as it is. I must rest first before
we
I
need to
can
catch some
perform
shut
anymore.
eye. Do the thing.
Not would even a short rest do it?
Well, actually, I think
How do spells come back? Any spells on short rest? I don't know.
I can detect evil.
I'm new to
but I
this.
can't detect magic.
You're a Sork?
I'm a Sork. I don't think I get anything back on a short rest, do
I am not sure. I just spilled my coffee, though. Hold on. Sometimes you can. I think it depends on your magic points and stuff.
Yeah, I know like wizards, a short rest, you get like 1 spell slot back or something. But I don't know about sorcerers.
Sorcerers have to do a long rest to get any slots back. That's their sort of biggest hint.
Is Elsa a sorcerer?
Yeah, I need a solid 8 hours of sleep, boys. Exhaustion.
This brings
perhaps if you rub my shoulders, it will help me get to sleep quicker.
To Little Kalimshan.
Oh, Little
Generations ago, a fleet of Kalashite refugees fleeing war in the south came sailing into Grey Harbor. Rather than opening their doors to the foreigners, the people of Baldur's Gate quickly hustled them out of the city, forcing them out of the Basilisk Gate in the middle of the night and taxing them for the privilege. Desperate and weary, the refugees finally found succor in a caravanserai run by a fellow Kalashite in the outer city. There, they used what little wealth they'd been able to bring with them to construct a new home, a traditional Kalashite settlement that would be precisely as friendly to Baldur's Gate as the Baldurians had been to them. Though much time has passed since the ignominious beginning, tensions remain high between Little Kalimshan and the rest of the city, particularly with regard to those Baldurians living in the city proper. Unlike most of the outer city, where neighborhoods blend into each other, no one can quite say where one ends and another begins. Little Kalimshan is sharply defined by brick and plaster walls, 15 feet tall, 5 feet thick, and topped with minarets in the classic Kalashite style. These walls don't simply surround the neighborhood either. Little Kalimshan is built like a traditional Kalashite city in miniature, with its interior divided into multiple drudaks, which are their name for a neighborhood. Each drudak is walled off and inhabited by a particular family or tribe, with its own religious site, inn or tavern, marketplace, and places of industry such as smithies, armories, tanneries, or mills. While such an abundance of walls might make Little Kalimshan seem fractious and standoffish, in fact, the opposite is true. The thick wall walks acts as elevated streets, with locals able to look out over the layout from above and easily pick a path to their intended destination. Second only to the wide in the chaos and liveliness of its markets, Little Kalimshan opens its gates to outsiders for just a few hours each day. Inside its warren of bazaars, local merchants have a near monopoly on many southern imports, from silks and fine blades of Kalashite steel to tomes of rare magical lore, thanks to exclusive trade agreements with various caravans. As soon as mid-afternoon arrives, however, shoppers are shuffled back out the arched gates, and the only non-Kalashites still allowed within the neighborhood are those who've married into a Little Kalimshan family or otherwise earned the sacred trust of a Drudak's residence. Well, many residents of Little Kalimshan venture into the larger city for business or pleasure. Not even the Flaming Fist is able to force its way into the neighborhood turned fortress after hours, except in the direst of circumstances. And each Drudak is instead patrolled by a militia of young, unmarried warriors called Amlakars. Here is.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Amlakar.
Amlakar.
Amlakars.
I totally wouldn't have got that. I thought you were going in a very different direction based on like analysis. But okay.
There you go. That is what one of the Amlakars.
Are sleazy sections of Little Kalimshan called sleaze stacks?
That would be
asking for all my friends who want to really know what happened to Marshall, Will, and Holly on their routine expedition, on their greatest adventure ever known.
Little Kalimshan presents a unified face to the rest of the city. It has all the problems of any settlement. Income inequality is made all the more obvious by density, with paupers living literally side by side with wealthy genie binders. older isolationists classed with young folk eager for more interaction with the wider city. Yet by far the largest issue is the gang war currently ravaging Little Kalimshan.
Oh,
Seeing the
shit.
guild as fundamentally an outsider organization, a Kalashite gang called the Right Pashas seeks to oust guild agents from Little Kalimshan's underworld. Now, this is not common knowledge, but I am sure Riz, Lucius, and Grin would all know this information, as they are all connected some way to either Kalimshan or the underworld.
You said there was two different
I was
gangs.
once
One of
part
them.
of the underworld. Was I in Kalimshan or somewhere else?
You were, yes, your underworld was on the Moonshine Isles,
So
which is.
Sorry.
You were too drugged up to remember anything that happened during those days.
So I'm sorry. The names of the gangs are the Right Pashas and who?
Yes. And then it's just the guild.
And the guild. All right.
Just call them the Jets and the Sharks, or the Crips and the Bloods.
Now, there is an interesting place here called the Oasis Theater, which I am sure Darius has heard of. As every patriarch in the city has visited the famous Oasis Theater, home to the city's most daring and sometimes dangerous production. Baldur's Gate plays home to a variety of small theaters and cabarets, but none can hold a candle to the epic spectacle of the Oasis. Theater owner and director Jonas Goodnight puts on shows even more outrageous than his magnificently crafted outfits. Productions involve everything from live monsters to powerful illusion magic, while also showcasing the most talented performers in the city. Actors and musicians perform their songs and monologues from atop flaming trapezes or human towers, while acrobats shock the audience with physical feats bordering on the supernatural. Even lowbrow theatergoers, unable to decipher Goodnight's artistic genius, can appreciate his flagrant breaking of taboos, with risque burlesque and satirical scripts mocking everyone from the Dukes to Nine Fingers Keene herself. The fact that these performances sometimes go terribly awry, with monsters breaking loose or a broken piece of equipment sending a performer plummeting into the crowd, only adds to the excitement, and patriarchs and common folk alike vie for seats at the theater's afternoon-only performances. Ticket prices are decided capriciously and on the spot. Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, Cody, this sounds like our kind of place.
I have heard of this place, just due to the fact I find it rather gauche and obnoxious. But I have heard of it, yes.
They have a rather lewd play called The Aristocrats. Not family friendly, let me assure you.
Okay, honestly, nothing is better to listening to the bardcore version of How Deep Is Your Love to what we're going through right now. There is a very strange. I'm currently listening to it, is what I'm saying, and it's very odd. I'll just throw that out there.
Now it is after the normal time that you can enter the city.
I was going to ask what my
connection.
Oh no, yes, you just I see the note now. Okay. Who do I know in Little Kalimshan? How am I allowed in here?
Let's see.
Because even though I'm originally from Kalimshan, I was picked up off the street from Kalimshan as a child by House Elton.
And
his name is Gary.
You were from the true Kalimshan, not Little Kalimshan, correct?
Correct.
Let me find where the hell. There we go. So you, Lucius,
Yep.
connection to Diva Aviz.
How do you spell that?
Gheeva, Diva, and then Aviz, Avizh.
Okay.
And she is the matron of one of the Drudaks, one of the little noble neighborhoods.
Okay.
You had helped out some family members or extended family members. They were given a hard time in the city of Baldur's Gate trying to get into the upper city. And being that your position with House Elton, you were able to talk the City Watch, which is different from they're the ones who patrol just the upper city.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to convince them to give these members a day pass without charge into the city so that they could conduct their business. That word got back to the matron, and now she owes you a favor.
Ah, okay. So not a regular sort of business relationship. Okay.
No, yeah, this is a personal relationship.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever met her, right?
You received a letter from her thanking you for her, for your business, and basically granting you favor, and inviting you to her Drudak, should you ever want to meet, and so she can thank you in person.
Okay. Awesome. So I have a letter from her then.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta find my mouse cursor. There it is. Okay. Well, so how do we just? I mean, do we get in? You said it was after dark, right?
Yes.
So are we? Is there some?
There are guards. Yeah, there is a 15-foot tall wall. If you look on the little picture of Little Kalimshan, like lower left-hand corner, there's the main gate with an entry, and right now there are guards, the Amlaki, Amlakar, standing up on top of the gate. And as you approach, they just kind of look at you, and they're just waiting for you to say something. The gates are shut, and they're just like,
Yeah. Well,
are there refugees also waiting to get in here?
No. You do see there are refugees sort of around the general vicinity, but a lot of them, they give Little Kalimshan kind of a wide berth. It seems like, like for whatever reason, whether it's prejudice, whether the Amlakars keep them away, it seems like they know better than to try to attempt to get a refuge from Little Kalimshan.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the gate. Thanks for cheering, Ripple. And I'm going to, as I'm doing that, I'm going to start fishing through my pouch for that letter. And I'll open it up and ask who is in charge.
One of the guards says, he says, I am in charge. What do you have for me? Do you have something for me? You're not from Drudak. You're not from Little Kalimshan. I know that I do not recognize. So you know the rule. If you do not know the rule, we are open for outsiders only during afternoon. You should come by tomorrow. See show at Oasis Theater is always good. Other than this, check out the markets during the day, but it is only during this very short period of time that we have the market, the bazaar available to outsiders. So thank you for your business. You have good night.
Now see here, my good man. I have this letter from Giva Aziz. She owes me a favor, and I need to collect on it.
Says, oh, hold where you are. And he's standing up on top of the wall. So you see him kind of disappear. And now he comes up to the gate, and right now it's a portcullis. So you've got sort of crisscross, and he motions to you from outside the gate. He says, "Can I see letter? You have letter from Matron Aziz?" And he looks at it, and he says, "Do you mind?" It's
As
getting
a
dark.
matter, as a matter of fact, yes, sir, I do mind. I believe I'll hold on to this.
He says, you have my word. I will not steal from you. This is not how we work in Little Kalimshan.
All right, let me roll it.
I am sworn by my duty and honor as Amlakar. I give you my word. I will not take this from you, especially if it is true that this is from Matron Aziz. I shall not dishonor her.
Okay. Well, 11 means that I think I believe him. So.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. If he's trying to dupe you, let's see what he rolls. Yeah, no, you do you believe him. You know enough about Little Kalimshan that the guards, although Little Kalimshan is sort of notorious for like the thieves guild, they do not. It's like the whole we don't steal from each other.
Right.
We'll steal from all you other motherfuckers, but yeah, we don't steal from each other. That shit goes against the bucket.
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand. I suppose you look like a trustworthy enough fellow, and I'll hand him the document.
He looks at it, and you can tell he's like, and he looks at the mark, and he says, "No, this is good." He rolls it up and puts it back to the portcullis for you to take, and he says, I shall open the gate for you."
The favor is that,
all
yes, unfortunately, we need all of us to get off the street right now.
Okay, I shall escort you to Giza Aziz Drudak, and you can ask her a favor from there. Please follow me. And you hear the.
I'll turn back over my shoulder and say, "Gentlemen, this way."
Yeah. The portcullis raises.
Where are we going? What is this?
This is Little Kalimshan. There's just a dandy little place called the Kalim Jewel Emporium. That's probably our best chance of offloading some of our merchandise.
I know it. I've done business with them.
It's actually an amazing place. I've been here before.
Giva Aziz owes me a bit of a favor, and so I figured we need to get off the street and have a place for the evening. I feel like the Van Thampers will probably be looking for us, and there's not a safer place that you can stay overnight than Little Kalimshan.
Agreed.
The guard escorts you to.
I'll say that loud enough so that the guard can hear me say that the safest place you can spend the night is Little Kalimshan.
Yeah. Oh, and he'll look back. He'll nod and say, "Yes, this is true. There is no safer place in Baldur's Gate than Little Kalimshan. If you have protection from the Drudak, you will sleep a sound, peaceful night." And as soon as you walk in into the walled confines of Little Kalimshan, you can immediately notice a difference in the smells that are coming through the air. You just passed through the stockyards of Stony Eyes, and then Norcal, whatever the fuck it was. Norchapel, thank you. And so that had the smells of animals, the slaughterhouses, excrement, the manure. And now you have a very distinctive smell. Those of you who have been here before recognize it immediately. It's a very perfumed scent of it's called oud or agarwood. It's a very precious resin that they burn, and it gives a very opulent aroma of tobacco, leather, and honey. So it's this very sweet aromatic smell that just kind of wafts through the air. As obviously many households and businesses around the area are all doing their best to make the air as fragrant as possible. This is a very the fragrance is something that's taken very seriously among the Kalashite. and he escorts you to Giva Aziz's Drudak. And it is not the largest Drudak in the city. It's actually kind of in the corner near the wall, but as such, still has her own small area. And you see silks hanging, draping from the walls. There are lush rugs spread across the floor, and she comes out herself and greets you. She is a woman, looks to be probably mid 50s, early 60s, jet black hair, just starting to get very small hints of gray through it. Large brown eyes. Even given her age, still quite attractive, um, but definitely gives off an air of confidence and poise and leadership. And the guard talks to her momentarily, and she walks right up to Lucius, and she says, "Well," she says, "you must be Lucius de Valen of House Elton. My most sincerest condolences, as you must be in such a state of disarray given what we've heard has happened to House Elton. Even out here, the news travels quite quickly. I cannot thank you enough for what you have done for my family in the past, and I will do what I can within reason to make sure that the ledger is even. So what can I do for you, my friend?"
What's a proper honorific to call her? What do I call her? Matron
Yeah.
formally?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh, Thank you so much for receiving us even at this late hour, matron. Again, I want to uh, extend our professional courtesy to you and yours anytime where we can, although, as you have noted, we seem to be slightly less of stature. However, what you see here is fairly considerable as to the remaining of House Elton. Now, we fully intend on reclaiming our rightful spot and Elsa's rightful honor title over House Elton. However, we have undertaken a bit of a I suppose a mission is correct to call it, to find the would-be conspirators of that plot and bring them to justice. We happen to have determined whom it was that was responsible for our downfall, and are currently in the process of dealing with them. What I would beg of you for this evening would be sanctuary in your Drudak, a place for us to stay, and perhaps, and this is in I'm assuming the Callum Jewel Emporium is here in Little Calimshan, and so I'll say, and then we need to utilize the services of the Callum Jewel Emporium. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to ask for. A sack full of hundreds. uh, so yeah.
Yes, she says. She says, "I I do believe that I can accommodate you and your guests, including the most esteemed lady. Again, my condolences to you for your loss. It seems as though some of the rumors that are flying around are obviously false, as I am very happy to see that you are unscathed." And she's looking directly at Elsa. Elsa gives her a nod and a very sort of noble curtsy, and thanks her for uh, her wishes. And she says, "My house is yours for the evening. As much as I would love to be able to entertain more so, I do believe that um, housing you here for any length of time would be extremely dangerous for my own family. So I can only offer you succor for this night, and but by evening tomorrow, you will need to find another place. I wish I could offer you more.
Of course. Of course. We would not want to put you and your family in jeopardy in the slightest. Although, perhaps sometime tomorrow, once we've rested, I could perhaps make this extension of hospitality even more worth your while, if you'd like to know some of what we have determined with our investigations. But that is entirely at your discretion. I am at your service if you wish to know anything of what the happenings have been under cloak of night, so to speak.
And she says, "Well, she says I'm always willing to turn my ear for some good gossip. But we can discuss all this over dinner, please. While I have my cooks prepare a meal, please, use the privies. I'll have my servants run baths for you all, and while you are getting changed, or while you are cleaning off the dust from the road, I will also have my servants clean your clothing, and we'll lay out some more traditional Kalashite garb for you for this evening's dinner. And by the morning, your clothes shall be cleaned and ready to go."
I find that we are once again in your debt. If there's ever anything that we can do to return the favor, we most certainly will.
What's a druidak again? It's like a noble.
A
It's basically-
neighborhood. It's like a neighborhood.
So like she's the ruler of this neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's GHEEVA.
Yeah, so you guys are basically servants bring you into the guest rooms. There are enough. There's for two people to each room. She doesn't again have the largest compound here, but then there is like a large sort of a public, or not public, but a large bathing area with a large heated pool, as well as smaller tubs that all have heated water.
Wonderful.
So you can do all that. Then she will give you all dinner. It is a very good meal, sort of what you might consider like a traditional kind of Middle Eastern.
They use a tagine to cook with.
Yeah.
I like a good
There's
tagining.
there's a lot of olives, which are actually somewhat rare in Baldur's Gate. Now, being from the upper city, you basically had access to more of the rare things, but certainly in the lower city and the outer city, this is not something that these are from the obviously. They have fresh honey, dates, lots of chickpeas, and then they have roasted mutton served on pita. So it's really, really good. Spices and everything are good. Fresh yogurt as well. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
very, very good.
You can see that Lucius is just like attacking this food. And he's eating it all with his hands,
The
Oh
cat,
yeah.
the cat already started his long rest
Mhm.
about an hour ago.
Just saying. We carried the cat in with us.
Right.
Same with the familiar. We curled up.
But we
they're
didn't.
they're both curled up in a circle.
And since
One of the
since
beds.
he's too big to carry for some of the smaller characters, and none of the bigger ones were willing to carry him, so like, I think I probably drug him by 1 foot.
Come on in.
He's been noticing that all day.
Yeah, the dinner is great. She will listen to everything you have to say about the rumors and goings on. She shares a little bit of information that she has as well. She said some of the rumors said that Lady Elton was killed, and that in her stead, the Duke Thalmara is taking over, the temporary leadership, helping to guide the transition of leadership of the Flaming Fist. And she said another rumor is actually that Lady Elton was in league with followers of the Dead Three and was planning an assassination attempt in trying to become the next Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate.
This is Van Thamper.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. They were spinning the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
What is this chick's name again?
It is Giva, Gheeva, Aviz, Avizh.
And what's the name? Do we have the name of? Do I know the name of her Drew deck?
Yeah, it's the Aviz Drew deck.
Oh, so it's just named after her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Grin says, "Oh, Jay, you're out of here."
Yeah, I got to tap early, guys. I got to be up at 5 in the morning, so I appreciate it.
Peace, Jay.
All right, peace.
Well,
out.
thanks, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Don't do
Make sure
anything
to
I
kill
wouldn't
lots
do,
of
and if
things.
you do, make sure it's on fire.
Hey, Jay, good seeing you.
Yeah, you bet, man.
So Grin says to Matron Aviz, many thanks for the hospitality that you've shown strangers in your house. He bows low, takes off his hat. You are obviously a person of great influence in this area, great power and influence. Have you heard anything throughout your people and your neighborhood of what's happened with the town of El Terrell?
Says sorry.
I will let you tend to your whispers first, if you would like.
Says she says my workers and my fellow compatriots, they've heard so many rumors of El Terrell. They have heard that it was a giant earthquake, unlike any that the world has seen since the time of troubles, that split the earth asunder and pulled the great city of El Terrell down into the depths. They have also heard that it was not an earthquake, in fact, but it was a great fire, a conflagration that immediately leapt up and burnt the city to a cinder in an instant. Another rumor has it that a comet came striking down from the heavens and obliterated everything in its path, leaving nothing but a smoking crater in its wake. There have been no shortage of rumors and hearsay.
Of course, there's always, among the rabble, they'll spread whatever fanciful tales they come up with. But what do you believe happened to El Terrell? You know, of course, by this time that the companion has disappeared.
That I have heard as such. Now, with the destruction of the city, I would assume that the companion would likewise perish, as for, well, better on 50 years now, the companion and the city have been akin. So that is an interesting point, though. Could the companion survive if the city is gone? I don't know, but probably warrants investigation at least.
Indeed.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, yeah, basically, I just wanted to impart upon her the stuff that has happened with us and what we've discovered as far as who's responsible. And, I'm not going to tell her what we're planning on doing, but
Burning this motherfucker to the ground.
I will let her know that, basically we're going after House Van Thamper, and we've already eliminated several of, we're just I'm letting her know that, like, we're going out for vengeance. So if that can help, if that information can help her in any way, more power to her, as long as it doesn't hurt us.
Nice.
Oh, she's saucy.
She is saucy.
She's saucy. Too bad I'm a great big cat. I'm in love, kitties.
Be like her, meow. Well, if there's any other info that you all are looking for,
Level 5.
or I know there was
Level up.
talks of fencing certain goods.
Well,
Yeah.
we
To
can't.
try to magically search those goods to make
Yeah,
sure
we're
we're
gonna-
not selling anything.
Oh,
too
that's
good.
right. Yeah, because you
Gotta
wanted to
get
do
rest
a long
first,
rest
though.
and then do a detect magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. I would say, any of the characters who are at all worried about the safety of the place, if you're not familiar with Little Kalimshan,
Ain't nobody getting in Kalimshan.
yeah, it is. It is like a fucking fortress. Like, with the walls, the Amlakar, each Drudak having its own like family guard. It's quite the formidable place. Definitely.
Grin does he does approach Lucius when the two of them can sort of get away from anyone else hearing and say, "Is it wise to trust this woman with so much personal information? She's seen now that Lady Elsa is alive. Is she trustworthy? How well do you know her?"
Well, I'll say this, that the letter, the promise that she made me was in return for assisting her family with a very important piece of business that they were needing to attend to punctually. And through my efforts, they were able to do that. I'm not exactly certain that I can wholeheartedly trust her, although I do not see that it would be in her best interest to betray us. And so I took a calculated risk. We needed a place to go. We needed a solid night's rest, and we have gear that we need to liquidate in order to fund our operation. She has proven to she has taken us in when she did not have to, and has given us comfort and the things in which we seek. Now, perhaps we should still set a watch.
I was thinking maybe the same thing. I agree. This is fantastic that you have a contact in Little Kalimshan that you can trust, but maybe we should keep an eye out anyways, just in case.
Just so.
Business is business.
Well, I agree, which is also why I decided to go ahead and share further information, so that perhaps she would see us as a capable ally rather than a juicy mark.
Oh, I'll be a juicy mark. We've got 2 juicy marks on our team
I
right
was gonna
now.
say, what do you gentlemen have to say about that?
What do the other juicy marks want to say?
What doth the juicy markeths say?
So Mark, I will be retuning my lute to a Kalimshan style music. I have the specific tuning. I'll be retuning it to that and playing that as we rest. I will be using my Song of Rest, which should help those creatures regain. That's during a short rest, so never mind.
You do it anyways because it's awesome.
Oh,
I'll still be retuning it to while
Very
we're in
thematic.
Kalimshan to play that style of music. But forget Song of Rest because that's not going to help us anyway.
Well,
Never mind.
Then I'll not be joining you with my giant bamboo flute.
We've already bartered for a little ass. We do not need any bamboo flutes.
Yeah, I'll be in my room tuning my lute.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in my room
Come
sleeping
on,
with my
come on.
I'm gonna be in my
Bastards.
room sleeping with a little pussy. Just saying.
Oh.
I won't be doing anything. Just sleeping.
That's you saw the pictures. You saw the pictures, Matt. That's a big pussy.
Hey, as long as it's a big, fat, juicy one, I'm good with it.
Jeez, you got a big pussy. Jeez, you got a big pussy.
Why'd you say it twice?
I didn't. See, because of the echo.
The echo. Oh my god.
Yeah, so we all shit shower and shave and go
I did
sell
I
all
did
of our
include
loot.
I did include the tune I will be playing on the Twitch stream.
Ooh.
So if you want to hear, that's the
Let's
evening
see here.
tune I play.
I am not familiar with the .ogg extension.
Yes. Well, that is
Yeah, you know me.
OGG.
I don't know if that's playing for everybody or not.
Yeah, sorry. Riz just asked you, like, let me know when I'm caught up with the party. And sorry, yeah, Coobs, I forgot to tell you, but I told everybody else that Riz rendezvoused with the party at the Basilisk Gate. And so you guys are all together at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry about that. You're probably just thinking, fuck, I'm still by myself. All right, well, shit.
You know, it's all good. You know,
Just start to leave a trail of fucking bodies.
we'll get caught up when
breadcrumbs.
it
Yeah,
works.
we should probably get caught up on what.
Yeah, I forgot that Riss wasn't with us.
Yeah, Riss went on a little commando mission.
That's right. Yeah, you would have had to have found us. I don't know. I would have probably made some marks whenever, like with chalk, like some Doral mark, just to indicate which direction we were going.
And then Mordecai would have changed those and put them to the opposite direction. So it's a fucking wonder he found you at all.
Upside down and backwards.
Yeah,
Riss-
I'll
Riss
try.
would have
I'll take my
known.
sleight of hand over his insight or
That
investigation.
straight line needs a squiggle in it. That circle needs a straight line.
So Riss would have.
Riz comes up. I see Lucius is leaving a mark. It says he went to a brothel with a halfling. What the fuck?
With a peacock?
But Riss would have known that Mordecai would have changed the marks. He would have expected it. So he clearly used the one.
And he did so in the Sow's Foot area in Hamhock Slaughterhouse.
As
What?
only a fool would read the signs that were given him. But of course he would have known that Mordecai would have known that I am not a great fool.
Hey, what's that?
I don't see anything.
Oh,
Never mind.
Why are you laughing?
And ladies and gentlemen, this is
let's
why I am.
drink. I'll tell you later.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I am friends with these people.
We can all quote Wallace Shawn from memory. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses while your back was turned.
So did we get our long rest?
You did. So everybody take a long rest.
required.
Recover all hit points, all hit die.
Did
if you have
we-
any levels of exhaustion, you
did we
recover a
level
level
up?
of exhaustion.
We level up.
You do not level. But hey, in this campaign, a long rest is more rare than a fucking level up. So
It's true. It is so true.
This is our first long rest ever.
you've leveled up
Man,
3
yeah.
times, and this is the first long rest.
I was about to
you've
say,
had,
man, you're
so-
thinking of it the wrong way. That means
Right.
we're gonna have 3 more levels by the time we take another long rest.
Yeah.
Starting
I like Joe's
now.
thinking. I'm like, wait a minute, this is fucked.
Man, I love it. Every time we get a long rest, I get to refill everything on my character sheet, even my gold.
That's how that works, right?
I don't even know. I have a lot of gold because I started with a lot of gold.
Filling my experience back up too.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Filling my inspiration.
That's boom
Oh, filling my
shakalaka.
laying on. Hey, you know what I'm also filling on? My laying on some hands.
I can't. I actually.
Okay.
Wow, Chico, wow.
I'm laying hands on myself.
Naughty paladin.
Lay your hands on me.
Grin
Oh,
reloads
I
his
can
pistol.
also-
0.
I can get rid of my death saves.
Yeah, the 0. Yeah, don't worry about the 0.
That little 0. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that little 0.
I mean, it's not great, but you know, minimum 1.
All right, we made it to a long rest.
I
That's
swear
like-
we've had a long rest once before. I
We
swear.
did. I think we did have one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think we did it in like the basement of the bathhouse.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
That sounds like something this group.
Courtney Jules walked by and she said to me, she goes, "It was literally last year."
I give Courtney my inspiration.
I need the inspiration for that.
I know. I feel bad. She's been wanting to take, her character's been wanting to take a long rest. For the last, I don't know how many things.
She's not even here to take a long rest.
She
Not
missed
even
a
really
long rest.
Like I'm gonna have to
Oh,
wait
God.
another goddamn year of game time before I get a fucking long rest in here.
Not only that,
Right.
you'd say
Long. You speak of long rest. What is this legendary thing? I know of no long rest.
Mark,
realize
let Courtney know. I said, let it go. Let it go.
this is also her first introduction to playing.
Ah,
a
she's
character.
laughing.
Her first time
Oh,
playing.
my
and
God.
It takes 4 months to get a long rest.
Right. I'm surprised. Like, is this normal? Do you guys never get to sleep in this game? Is that just the
No
thing?
wonder why everyone dies took 8 years. I mean,
8 years.
honestly.
And 6 long rests. That's
Mordecai spends all night asking.
I'm foregoing my long rest and I'm just going to keep Elsa up all night.
oh shit.
Oh, I'm hurting. Oh my god.
Now, Riss, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna let you in, or if you have to get creative.
No, I'm not really doing that, if that's what you're asking.
I have to what?
Oh, there's
I don't know.
for the puzzle.
Okay,
So-
okay.
So DM, like, can I mention to them, like, oh yeah, there's one more of us that will be coming along shortly. He was,
By the way, there's another shady bastard.
yeah.
Are you
How
talking about
about- how
Riz?
about-
No. Riz rendezvoused with you guys at the Basilisk game.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Yeah. So So he's just in very Riz fashion, he has been very quietly observing. And you're like, you turn around, you're like, I wonder when the fuck Riz will. Holy shit, there he is. How long have you been there?
Sounds right.
Riz is just like, what? I've been here the whole time.
Are you
You
sure
like
you
to ask me anything, so I've just been silently watching you all.
You're like that creepy little girl that's always quiet, but is always present whenever a house burns down.
eating a lollipop.
I will
I
use
can
my
imagine
inspiration.
Riz
I
like
will use my
leaning in
inspiration.
real close to like Lucius, and you go, "You smell different when you're awake."
It must be the clothes.
Actually, I believe there are pheromones involved, but I am not a internist.
All I'd go with something like, it's amazing what you sleep through. Again, you're planting those seeds. DM, I am using my inspiration if I need to there, buddy. I've got one.
Okay. It's not going to be enough.
Enough? Oh, shnikers. Can I, No sleight of hand.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no. It's
It was just a time thing.
but no, it's a roll thing, but it's a hefty roll.
Ooh.
Trying to do.
Trying to dream of you.
Well, that's a hefty
Why
roll.
is that so
brother.
hard to do? Dream of you.
Because pussy isn't my thing.
Just putting it out there.
Because
Mordecai is what Mordecai is. I can't help
because
it.
the tabaxi peacocking now. Strutting.
Intelligence. God damn it. I'm gonna have to like roll a natural 20. How often can I roll for this? Like a once a day thing or something? Because if so, it's just gonna be an every night when I go to bed thing.
What is he rolling for?
Stuff.
Rolling for stuff and things.
Things.
How many practical jokes he's required to play before he can get his spell back?
How realistic it needs to look for Grin to fall for.
Grin will. You've done it enough times that Grin just doesn't believe anything. If Mordecai is anywhere in the vicinity, Grin just doesn't believe that it doesn't believe anything that happens.
Is there a number in there? Because I can't. Oh, okay. Dark mode. I'm using dark mode now, and that's not good for that. Okay. No, I'm gonna keep it on dark mode because I can't see that number when it's in dark mode. So yes, it's dark mode. Okay. Well.
Everybody roll a perception check.
That
I'm
just
asleep.
happened.
I can't perceive anything.
Hard to do while you're asleep.
Hard to do while sleeping, but I'll roll.
This happened probably right as you were bedding down, getting ready for the night.
Man,
Perception or persuasion?
you're all very sleepy.
Perception.
Ooh, it's getting better.
Yeah, I told you I was asleep.
Like this looks like you're always asleep.
Well, he's got a very low perception check.
Man, even the dungeon master is not doing
So weird. It's so weird. Everyone's perception is in uppercase letters except for Risk for some reason.
Risk is little. He's got a
Oh
little
yeah, that's crazy.
What is that? Yeah.
That's probably because he's
I know what
created
it
something called perception, and he's changed the
actually
role
has
because
perception.
there's
It
something missing.
suggests that Marcus is cheating.
I am cheating.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He actually is.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at it. It's all in caps.
Oh, and it's a 20.
Oh, it's in the short. Yep.
Oh!
Damn.
You just didn't want the rest of us to feel bad. That's
This was an easy. This was an easy roll. So anybody 10 or above.
Woo!
You can hear from the adjoining room.
I'm just thinking about what you're about to say is going to be not abnormal at all, but it's meant to be.
from the room where Mordecai was, you hear sort of a muffled scream, like a and then a thump on the floor.
Yeah, but you can't trust Mordecai.
If it's coming from Mordecai's room, Grin doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, everybody just rolls over and goes back to sleep.
I was already asleep, so I told you to begin with I was sleeping.
No, I roll over and go into crouching, pulling my long sword.
Do you go into crouching tiger, hidden dragon mode?
Crouching tiger, half-orc dragon mode. I don't know what I do. I just pull my fucking sword.
His door is shut but not locked.
No, I did in case I have a gentleman caller.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
I fucking.
Well, yeah,
Oh
Rid,
my God.
you made it regardless. You just needed to make a 10, so you got a 13. So yeah, you.
So we all heard it, right? Or most of us did. Thunder's asleep.
Grin,
Yeah.
Grin is
Out.
snoring. Grin snoring loudly.
Grin
Yeah,
heard it
Grid-
and
yeah.
chose to ignore it.
Thunder and Grid did not hear it.
Which I appreciate.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Lucius
I-
heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Thunder is sexy.
I look up and I'm looking around, and so I just kind of make eye contact with everybody that did hear it. Like,
I acknowledge.
I'll just kind of get up and kind of slowly walk over to the door and crack it open a little. Morty, everything okay?
Is that just a 20?
Yeah, it should be right on the character sheet.
Oh, is it?
Right underneath hit points.
Okay.
And bite next to hit dice.
Rick, Morty.
Oh, that's a fail.
Ooh.
Oh, yep, there it goes. Automatically marked it. So you open the door. You see Mordecai is lying off to the side of the bed. He seems to be kind of mildly convulsing. His eyes are wide open. Pupils are fixed and dilated. He's got blood coming from the corners of his eyes and out his nose, mouth, and ears.
Damn.
Well, he's only mildly convulsing, correct?
Always looking on the bright side. I like that.
Yeah.
I investigate the rest of the room.
You see lying, it kind of almost fell underneath the bed, is that little puzzle box that you guys had taken from Thirstwell.
Well, shit. Let him die.
Yeah, he looks to be in very bad shape. Like he is bleeding out.
Uh-huh. I will
And Lucius just goes, "Quit fucking around, Mordecai. We know you're fine."
So you said that puzzle box is sitting there next to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Darius Coda's wondering how to produce that like fake foam out of his mouth. I'm like, Mordecai, how do you do that? Is there like like a pill that you like tuck in and then crack and then the foam?
I'll go ahead. I have actually got one first level spell slot left. And so
Okay.
I will cast Cure Wounds. And
All right.
in the meantime, I'm gonna, and after I'm done with that, I'm gonna reach over with like an extra shirt, and I'm gonna wrap up the puzzle box in the shirt and tie it all off so that it's a nice little satchel.
Gotcha. So you're using the shirt to touch it, not your hands?
Correct.
Okay.
That's
Wait,
the
you
idea.
said you wanted to touch it bare skin on skin and rub it against your fat?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to see if I can get a shave with the edges.
Ooh, it exfoliates.
It is. Get it close
I
shave.
want to dip my balls in it.
Well, who doesn't?
The cat doesn't. He's still sleeping.
Yeah.
'Cause my long rest is over though, right? So I'm gonna wander out with my
Oh no.
flying cat.
Well,
No,
no,
this
your long
only
rest has
took
just started. Yeah,
5
we're
minutes.
probably
well,
an hour into it.
Then I'm
For you.
sleeping. I ain't gonna interrupt that shit because I need to heal.
Yes, Mordecai, you come to with sort of a blood curdled, and he's like it's like a drowning man spitting up water, but he's like spitting up. It looks like sort of a black bile.
Ew.
Ew.
It's more on the way up than on the way down.
Mark, do I have any idea what that puzzle box is or where it comes from?
We know it's poisonous.
Yeah, I think
We found it. It was from somebody we killed, right?
it was Thirstwell had it.
Thirstwell.
Yeah.
Who was Thirstwell again? Was that like 2 months ago?
He's one of the brothers Van Thamper.
He was the one. He was the
peaked
He was
one.
the skinny, sickly one who summoned all the imps. He had all the imps and stuff.
That was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, we killed him almost instantaneously. At which point, hey, what the hell happened to Amric? By the way,
He escaped.
son of a bitch.
Died and get pushed over.
How did he escape? He was dead.
I know. I'd be like, Grin, walk over to Rez. Cool. So, I mean, that means you fucking killed him, right? Where'd you bury him? It's cool. You can tell me. I just want to go and pee on the grave. It's cool.
He escaped.
Yes.
Well, he escaped while crossing the river. He was crossing the river and he escaped. He dove into the water.
Yeah. Let's see now. Give me an intelligence religion check. I believe that would be the correct. Is there religion anymore?
Yep.
I guess let's. Oh, there is. Yes.
That's a really deep question, Mark.
If you have,
is there religion anymore?
is there religion? Ask John Lennon. Let's see. You can do either religion or history, whichever you would prefer.
And
I have history.
who's this
Proficient
for?
in history.
What is this for?
There you go. And I'll give you advantage on it. Yes,
Oh,
there you go.
sweet advantage.
Yes.
What is this for?
He's wondering what the if he knows anything about the puzzle box.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
As you were healing, I was going to go over and do that.
Oh,
but
sure. Okay. If you've got it, that's fine
beat
too.
me to it.
No. If you were going to do that while I was doing something else, I
was going to try to find like a towel or something and then be like Gandalf in the Palantir.
Yeah. Well, we can certainly substitute
That's a
your
cool
towel
puzzle
for
box.
my fine shirt. So.
What was that, Matt?
I said, that's a cool puzzle box. Does
Yeah,
Pinhead come out of it?
I'm gonna throw it to the cat and tell him to mess with it.
What I was hoping.
It's actually a ball of yarn.
Thunder didn't even know this thing was going on. Just like Grin, I didn't make my.
No, I'm sleeping, bro. I'm just looking at the picture. Like personally, I think that's a cool puzzle box. As a cat, I'm asleep. This is true character acting here.
I'm sorry, Lucius. I don't know what came over me. I hate for you to see me like this. I use prestidigitation to freshen myself up.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, Lucius says it when he sees you looking around for the box. He says, "Oh, don't you worry now. That little box is gone. It can't hurt you anymore. Don't worry."
He's like, you motherfucker.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And as you're saying that, you'll see Jaren comes in, and he sees what's going on, and he kind of says, he was like, why is Mordecai? Why were you messing with that infernal puzzle box? You should not be fucking around with those things.
Yep. I nod my head and say these are very dangerous items.
I assume that you of all people would be interested in this.
Never to be taken lightly.
Give it to the cat. Give it to the cat.
Oh, I figured you were the perfect I figured you were the perfect person to mess with it, Mordecai, until you turned up almost dead.
I was looking for it so I could try to open it again.
Yeah, I almost got it. Just give me another shot.
I think I almost had it. Honestly.
He's like an addict. He's like, handle it.
Give me one more twist of the old box, and I think I can solve the
He's
riddle.
like, hit me, baby, one more time.
Say,
Oh my God! Have you not watched Lord of the Rings and the Palantir? I mean, come on, you bitches!
Lucius, just hang out with me once every night before we pass out. I'll do an old shrine. If I go under, it'll be like, what was that movie where the Shockers, was it? What was it? Where where they went under for a second and they revitalized themselves.
Flatliners.
Flatliners, that's what it was.
Flatliners.
Yeah.
Flatliners.
You'd be just like Flatliners, Lucius. Come on.
I say, Mordecai, you are quite fortunate that this thing almost killed you. For messing with this could have given you a far worse fate.
I just wanted to get some little friends to travel along with me, that's all.
Some little friends.
Perhaps get them to perform little circus routines, you know? High wire act, shoot them out of a cannon.
Shoot them out.
Fire the
You
imp
are-
grenade.
Do a little mini net.
An imp grenade? An imp grenade would be awesome.
That's like a bag of holding, you know, with a bunch of imps
With
inside.
a bunch of imps in it.
with like a tiny pocket hole, like a micro-sized pocket hole that enters it right at the last second and explodes everywhere, sending the imps flying in every direction. We could make one.
No, this
Hey.
box wasn't made to be open.
Greg, I keep
What
trying to
is the
figure out how to
purpose?
do that, but you type in there Grin Dreams. I don't know how to do that.
Do /EM, and it'll automatically put your name in there. So it'll say Thunder. So you just type like /EM space and then whatever it is you want to like say Thunder does. So you don't have to type Thunder in there because it'll automatically put it in there.
It's gonna say thunder first.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's all over
Thunder
now.
sleeps.
There you go. So that's how you do that.
Oh, you guys don't know what you created now.
Oh no.
Thunder gonna do some shit.
As long as it prevents you from spending 100% of your time breaking down doors, and you can use those emotes all you want.
What a wonderful distraction.
That just means I will be breaking down doors.
Can we change your last name from In the Morning to Thunder Doorsbane? Actually, it has a pretty cool ring to it.
Doors daughter,
Right.
Anna
Doorsbane.
It's almost too dwarven.
It does sound pretty dwarven.
It's really close.
I'm not a dwarf. I'm a cat. Come on, guys.
Or
Thunder door
it sounds half ogre-ish.
Ogre-ish.
Yeah. As my favorite article about half ogres was the best damn door opener there is.
Like, did you see my explanation as to why my perception thing was different?
Does it matter?
What?
Yeah, because you're specialized in it or something?
Yeah, I have expertise. As a rogue, you I think it's like double your
It's
proficiency.
because
or
I'm
something like that.
Marcus. Hello.
Yeah, you
I don't know
definitely
how to
double your
do,
proficiency.
Right, yeah. And I don't know how to do the expertise on the character sheet here. So I just put it in the tools. So I have my own little roll for it.
Oh, you wrote one up. You and everybody, you and the engineer over there writing your own little scripts, huh? I learned how to emote today, so don't even go there.
So Grin,
One step at a time, bud.
Hey, maybe over the next 8 years, as this campaign rolls on, I'll be able to do some cool shit too.
maybe you'll-
Oh, so Coobs, if you hit the cog when you're on the core sheet, you can.
Yep.
It's one of the columns. Like at least on mine, it's the middle column at the bottom, and you can select on the left-hand side of that column, like normal or expertise.
If you hit Cox, you would be an expert.
Which
Um,
which cog?
It's
Cox.
from like
That's
while
what
you're on your core sheet, like it's the little cog just to the right of bio and spells.
Yep.
Click that. Center column bottom, at least that's where it is for me. Has like all my skills in it, and I can select either normal or I can select expertise on the right or the left hand side of that.
if you just it should say normal for everything. If you just click on normal, it'll switch it from normal to expert.
I have all these pills and I'm cutting them up, and I usually just use a knife and put it against the table, but now I have this little pill cutter, so I'm fucking tweaking.
Nice.
Clip it.
Just so you know.
We don't necessarily have to role play out the whole fencing deal, just to in the sake of expediency. If you would like to,
I would like to role play out though
shit,
the
please
pill
don't.
cutting experience.
Everybody can take your long rests. The night goes by without incident. You feel very safe.
Wait,
Again,
without
the
further
aromatic
incident.
the aromatic drafts of incense lend to not only a very peaceful night's sleep, but also now you awake feeling refreshed, invigorated, and ready to tackle whatever the world has set out for you.
See you, dude.
Perfect. Lucius, give me
Hi,
the box
Joe.
back. Quick.
Hi,
I feel refreshed. I need the box back, Lucius, please.
I'm gonna look at him and say, I don't have the box.
Lucius, I know you have the box. Don't remind me.
I swear on my mother's grave, I
Here's
have
the
not the
box.
box.
The soup Nazi shows up and says, "No box for you."
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's a little box?
So yeah, Grin wakes up bright and early in the morning, and he's like, "Oh, it was such a relaxing night. No
What did we
trouble at all.
miss?
Nothing happened. What a nice,
What a
peaceful
nice
night's rest."
fucking night.
No stress at all.
And he goes to rouse the others, completely ignores Mordecai's whatever happened, and says, "The people who do the sort of business that we're looking to do this morning, they like to do this earlier than afternoon. They like to do this as early in the morning as possible to get their goods out of their doors as quickly as possible. So we should have a very quick breakfast and make our way to the Callum Jewel Emporium at our earliest."
So you're familiar with the Emporium then?
I am. I've done quite a bit of business with them in the past. They love me there. They do.
As I'm sure we all do.
I bring a lot of money into their leader. She's a big fan of mine.
All right, excellent. Well then, I suppose we'll let you do the negotiating then.
I think so.
All right. Well, let me know if I can be of any assistance. If you have any need to recall anything specifically regarding the nobility, perhaps, let me know.
Well, for the first thing we should do, everything that we've uncovered here, these bags of goods, surely there must be a magical trinket or two among these. It might be wise to find out if anything is magical before we...
That's right. And of course, Mordecai says, "Oh, yes, now I can totally help you with that."
You're looking a little peaked, Mordecai. Did you not sleep well?
Yes. He was attacked by the puzzle box in some manner or other, and required a bit of healing, actually, just to get him stabilized.
I'm sure he deserved whatever happened.
Pardon me, sir. Master Lucius, is there something that you understand or know about this small but apparently lethal box?
Myself, I suppose I could try to recall something. I've heard of them. But it seemed like Riss and Jaren both were very familiar and seemed to think that it was quite dangerous. I will trust their judgment on the matter. However, I do not know if how much I can recall about the puzzle boxes, but with a 14 history, I ought to have at least heard of it.
It's it's an item that has been used by, I forget if it's devils or demons. I believe it's devils who have made deals with mortals. And the contracts are bound within the box.
I see.
So by opening the box or attempting to open the box, there's no real telling what kind of consequences could take place. Either the energies of the 9 hells come pouring forth, smothering you in them, or it could possibly entrap your soul.
Is this an ancient device, or could this be something relatively new?
It is a device that stems from the 9 hells, so however they document time would be how you would measure that.
That's right. Time in the 9 hells is a little bit different than on Earth. On Earth, it's linear. You have a line, something happens, then something else happens, and something else. In 9 hells, it's more of a Jeremy Bearimy. Just because, in cursive English, it travels in the way that Jeremy Bearimy looks like the name. If any of you have watched The Good Place, that's a hilarious fucking scene.
Great.
It is indeed.
What about that? I'm wondering what that is. That dot over the I. Oh, that. It's Tuesdays. And also, it's when nothing never happens. Oh, and sometimes it's nothing at all. Yeah, that broke me.
Some of the most brilliant writing since Douglas Adams. I mean, some of like the greatest work back on itself. It's amazing stuff.
What did I miss? Who?
The Good
The
Place.
Good Place.
Jeremy
that was
Irons.
good. That was actually a very good show.
It
was fantastic.
Yeah.
Not that my opinion on much matters, but yes.
To me, Matt, it matters.
And Douglas Adams was an incredibly gifted writer.
Yeah, he was pretty brilliant.
He was also a very confusing writer. So yeah, he was gifted.
I still love
By confusing, you mean gifted.
I can't remember which of the Hitchhiker's Guide, series it was in, but someone creates a punishment. The punishment for committing a crime is you have to sit in this thing that shows you your place in the universe. It shows you just how unimportant you are in the entire universe.
Insignificant.
And it's so.
And people lose their minds.
Yeah, people lose their mind because they can't fathom that they're so unimportant. And Zaphod Beeblebrox gets sentenced to it, and they put him in the machine, and the guy's like, he'll suffer for this, and they turn the thing on and run it, and then it ends, and he steps out, and he's like, okay, that was pretty cool, and he walks off, and they're like, what?
Yep.
And it turns out he's currently inside a simulated smaller universe where the whole thing has been created specifically for him, so he's actually the center of the universe. He goes in there.
He's like, yeah, that's about what I thought.
There's honestly, there's nothing more brilliant than his work. I mean, I may be slightly biased as I'm advanced nerd, but
you're an actual writer, Mark. Well, the rest of us are just readers.
Nothing.
But his work, I mean, you can't touch it. I mean,
as a published author, as an avid reader, so
incredibly.
As a semi-literate adult male, I can say.
So that being said,
drive.
Here's the way I look at it. So that being said, have any of you guys used those things that you put in your ear to pull the wax out? Not a Q-tip, but they have those things on.
Oh, the little corkscrew?
No.
No, nobody's used those.
No, they're intriguing though. Yeah,
I mean, that's what
I want to see if I pull my entire brain out. Because
you guys are talking, and I'm thinking to myself, how, if I use this corkscrew, would it make my ears or my hearing any better? And would I understand what they're talking about?
It would pull the babble. It would pull.
Yeah, the
pull
battlefish would come right out.
The babblefish would come out, and then I would have no idea what the fuck's going on.
That's
Nobody would
exactly what I was
understand
thinking at the
any
same time,
shit.
Greg. I had a friend who they had the wax cones. And
I've
you
used
put
those.
Oh,
your
yeah.
ear.
Yep.
And you
That's a
burn it.
Mexican thing. We use that. Mexicans do
Okay.
that. Some weird shit.
I've heard it's disgusting.
It's fucking gross. But really, basically, what it is the wax actually melts, and that's what it looks like. That's what comes out. But it's not the wax in your ear. It's the fucking wax from the cone.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because it's a wax cone.
Right.
I did as a speech for I think it was my junior year in high school. I did.
That's my sword, right, Mark?
Correct.
I did. I did.
Mark, if you want, let me know if you want me to send you a list.
Owen's
of all
still
the
trying to
stuff
finish
we've got.
I'm trying. It's not working. I did.
As soon as you learned about the afterlife,
in the
your
beginning,
motivation
the universe
to
was
be good
created.
was
This
corrupted.
had made many people
So you can't
very
earn
angry
points.
and had been widely regarded as a bad move. Many races believe the universe was created by some sort of god, though the Jatravarted people of Vitfudel 6 firmly believe that the entire universe was in fact sneezed out of the nose of a being called the Great Green Arkle Seizure. Anyway, that's what I remember. I'm sorry, Al.
And people have a tendency to fight over small green pieces of paper,
Right.
even though that the green pieces of paper didn't really have anything feeling to fight over. Yeah, and the way that they described Zapfod in the book,
Oh, I love it.
oh, it was so good. I was reading that during the election between Hillary and Trump,
Which
and
is
I was
the
like, oh my god,
perfect
like
time to
he's
read that.
he the way that they described it is exactly how people describe Trump. You know, like he's completely transfixed with himself and creates the biggest distraction possible so that everybody else can actually do their stuff. I'm like, if Zaphod had what the fuck is it? Social media. Like he would be even better as the Galactic Emperor. Twitter. That's what I was trying to think of. Zaphod with Twitter.
One of my guys who can't stop, doing coke and stuff. He was working the Oscars, so I sent him a text. I'm like, "What did you do to Will Smith?"
That shit's fucking crazy, man.
Dude, I just saw one that Jesse Sommelier or whatever. He's like,
yes,
he hit me too.
Yeah.
I will say it's pretty fucking brilliant that he does that, smacks him, and then wins an Oscar.
Yeah, I know.
It's that moment of like, yeah, no, that seems right.
Yeah, that's the world we live in.
That's kind of how things are happening.
And then
That's why I was thinking Saturday Night Live has to do a skit, invite Chris Rock on there, where from now on, from every single Oscars going forward, every single Best Actor nominee has to smack Chris Rock for good luck. Like to try to, it's like Chris Rock says, all right, just let's get it over with. Yeah, all right, yeah, they just come out.
Every nominee comes up and smacks him.
Just smack Chris Rock.
But here's the moment that I had. I was like, how is Ricky Gervais still standing?
Yeah.
Like he eviscerated everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And nobody smacked his shit.
No, it wasn't.
And honestly, I get that what he said was pretty shitty. No, but listen.
But you hire a guy.
Hold on. I have other shit I'm saying, Matt. Matt, I have other shit I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I get that as a boyfriend, you'd be like, or as a husband, that shit would suck, and that would piss me off. But Chris Rock is a comedian, and he should be allowed some.
Oh yeah.
Chris Rock
I
making a
Comedians are
living.
typically untouchable.
Yeah,
I agree with both of them 100%. I agree with, did Chris Rock have every right to say it as a comedian? Fucking absolutely. But if you're talking shit about somebody who's in the fucking audience, hey,
No.
talk shit, get hit. You
No,
know?
No,
no,
I disagree.
absolutely not. Chris
No.
Rock was hired to do a job, and somebody assaulted him doing his job.
Yeah.
He should fucking press charges.
And that joke,
You
be
should
it
press charges.
maybe
It could be out of
maybe
place. And
like slightly way hitting below the belt, is that moment when you need to stop and say, okay, I put myself out there. I mentioned alopecia. I mentioned that's why my head is bald.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I put myself out there as somebody who's saying I suffer from this and this sucks.
right, but did you see
And
the
then
Will?
Chris Rock, he doesn't say you're a fucking loser because you have alopecia. He mentions her head.
So,
Yeah.
so
And
the
and
internet,
like what he thinks it relates to.
so the
End of the
internet is
day-
amazing. Internet's an amazing thing because I just saw another skit where Will Smith, there was a guy in the audience with alopecia, and Will Smith was like, "This motherfucker's he's gotta polish his head every day," and that guy had alopecia.
Oh shit.
And the whole thing is Chris Rock has got to know like that did more to boost his fucking career
He jumped
than
back
anything.
up.
So it's like press charges
Revived.
bullshit. Like
Chris
you
Rock
can't
don't
pay
care.
for publicity like that.
Chris
Holy
Rock
shit.
don't.
Like he said, he was like that was the greatest moment in television history. Like nobody's
There's
talked
at
about the
least-
Oscars except for
There's
that.
at
So I'm like,
least 3 screenshots though that suggest, just like it would with anybody here on camera, that had somebody come up and smacked your ass, the shock of
Oh, he
that
was
sh-
shocked. He
the
literally,
shock of that shit.
he was like,
I look at those moments and go, fuck you, Will Smith. And the fact that you won something that
Well,
same fucking night.
I liked how
It's
I liked how Chris Rock was like, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. What just happened? He's like, he just smacked the fuck out of me.
I like a lot of the memes that have popped out, like the one with Data that says, "I'm still not impressed." Tupac would have shot him.
Tupac would have shot him.
Oh my god, this world
Hilarious.
is fucking bizarre
Oh,
right now.
it's a mess.
They might press charges. Like the LAPD doesn't have to have Chris Rock press charges. They can go forward on charges even if
I want
he
to know
doesn't,
who
if
has.
they want to.
How do I take a thing from Instagram and send it to you guys?
Well,
No idea.
there's a
This
lot of
is
different. There's a lot of different ways to do that, man.
I can't do it.
First
I don't
thing
know
you
how.
gotta do is smack one of us. Really fucking hard. So
Because the Will Smith, doing the other, making fun of somebody else. It's when he was on Arsenio Hall.
oh shit.
That's how far back it goes. And Arsenio Hall was like, even then, Arsenio Hall was like, "Damn, son, what did you just do?"
I like the
Oh.
there was another meme that had Dwayne the Rock Johnson saying, "Oh, I love Data. She's gonna be great in whatever it was too, G.I. Jane 2." And then had a picture of Will Smith laughing his ass off, like, "Ha ha ha ha." The Rock said that shit. That's fucking good. That's a good joke.
right.
I ain't doing shit.
I'm gonna send you guys this one because this one's funny too.
Oh my god. Welcome to our continuingly to spiral downward world.
After hours with the failures.
Failing
Oh
after
my god.
midnight. So Grin,
Yeah.
Where-
uh,
where are we supposed to be going?
So we went to the fence, and I might play some stuff out after that.
Was it the The gemstone fence.
The shoot. The Callum Jewel Emporium.
Yes.
I'm used to dealing with them, but
I'm familiar with them.
It's late for you guys, so maybe I might play out some stuff because I want to have some. I'm going to try to talk with someone that I know there at some point. But I can do that at a different time.
Yes.
So then me and Mark have sent some whispers back and forth. So yeah, Grins.
Yeah, I would totally have gone with you to the Emporium.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're selling all the non-magical stuff.
Did we find any magical, or is that what the list was? The
yeah. So when
the
magic thing was cast, the only things that glowed that they were magical was the bandolier of daggers and the sword that Thunder found.
The sword of justice.
Sword of justice. Yeah.
Goes right along with his vengeance. I am vengeance, saith the Lord. Instead, he's going to say, I am the vengeance, say the Lord. I am the vengeance.
My Twitch stream is frozen.
Thunder isn't justice at all.
No, I am not justice. I am vengeance. My sword is justice.
Thunder isn't even really vengeance. He's just hostility. He's just hostility.
Well, have you ever seen a tabby cat? And like a fucking stray tabby cat. That's Thunder. They just fucking they attack everything, and they're always fucking pissed, and they're always on guard. And that's and they just swipe at anything. So
yeah, Grin. I just sent you the whisper. Yeah, you feel like you're getting quite a good deal. You actually, Rilsa is unavailable at the moment. You're not. They won't give you any details. But you do recognize one of the merchants. You can't remember his name. You want to say it's Amir, Ahmad, Muhammad, Shafar, Zakar, something like that.
Those people are all the same to me.
And but you do recognize him. You're like, oh yeah, you're Amir, and he's like, my name is Amar. You're like, that's what I said. But yeah, you can tell, when you start laying out the goods and he starts giving you prices, you're like, this is probably better than what I expected. Like, you don't say that aloud, but that's what you're thinking. Like,
yeah, and I mean, and I sent you a little message. Like, he'll, he still puts on the show of, well, I could probably take this to Waterdeep and get at least, more than this, but you've always been good to me, and I like doing business with you, and so I'm willing to take a smaller price to keep you.
And he's actually he's going to give you an extra 5% because he appreciates the haggle. That's like part of the culture.
He's totally giving us a good deal because she told him to.
Right. Well, yeah, because you're
That's
like,
what I
can
think.
take it. He's like, oh, you're gonna go to Waterdeep. Oh, you're gonna schlep this garbage all the way to Waterdeep for them to rape your prices. Oh, I can't believe you'll do it. Oh, you don't want to do that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you extra. And he basically he'll give you an extra 5% on everything.
Cool. Yeah. 15 shekels, not a penny less, or God strike me dead. 16. Sold.
It very much has that feeling, like where you can tell this whole haggling thing. It's not, it is an absolutely, like, it is a long, trusted tradition among like the Kalashite people, and you fall back into it very, very quickly, and the whole banter back and forth is, you're like, oh yeah, this is fun. I enjoy this.
I'll sell you that gourd for 13. For 13, you just gave it to me for free. Yes, but it's worth 13. Cool. Yeah. No, I mean, Grin definitely feels pumped up, like fencing all the stuff. This is sort of stuff he feels comfortable with, even though it's not his. He's trying to escape his past, but he really loves his past.
Yeah. You're very good at it. Yeah, love it or hate it, you have a certain set of skills and abilities. I may not have money, but I have a certain set of skills.
Yeah,
I will find you and I will kill you.
He definitely looks. Yeah, he's a little bit upset that Rayla is not there.
Yeah.
However, that's fine. So it's not his fault that he couldn't repay the debt. I was willing to pay the debt, but she wasn't there. What do you want from me?
Right.
But he will look for a Rilsa Rail. He is going to look for anyone who he thinks has the ability to loan him a large amount of gold.
Okay. How large an amount of gold are you talking?
Like 500. Does he even think that there's someone who would be able to loan that amount?
Amir says, or Amar, whatever his name happens to be, says, he says, oh, I mean, of course, we have the funds to loan an amount like this, but, well, it comes with, length of terms, what we are going to be getting back on said loan, what funds are going to be used for. With a loan this size, many things need to be taken into consideration.
Well, that's the great thing. The funds will be used in a way that actually guarantees that they will be paid back. The funds will be used to better protect myself.
Good night, all.
See you, Matt.
Night, Matt.
So you are hiring mercenaries? You want to hire some Amlakars from Drudak, follow you around, be your own personal bodyguard? What is use of these funds?
No, nothing like that. This armor of mine is just not really doing it. I was kind of looking at something a little nicer, something to deflect the swords and the arrows a little better, if you know what I mean. But for some reason, every time I get
armor, you see my cousin, Sharif. Sharif is in Bazaar. Sharif sell armor. He is best armor smith this side of Waterdeep. He can give you pure Kalashite steel.
Sharif in the Bazaar.
Sharif. Yes, you tell him. You tell him you are very good friends with his cousin, and he will do this. Now his prices. I mean, this is pure Kalashite steel. This is the best steel in all of the world. So it's going to be more than this garbage you find in Baldur's Gate. These smithies, they do not know what they do. You buy armor from them. Some child throws a rock. Boom, pierces armor, hits heart, you die. No good.
Trust me, I understand the value of Kalashite steel, and I would definitely take that over any of the rubbish that is found in the dredges along the coast.
Yes, because you are a very smart man. I can tell this. I know this right away. So, yes. I take it you were looking for...
Half plate.
Half plate?
750.
Yeah.
I want to look at his studded leather.
Studded leather. All right. Yeah, if you go
I mean, we can. It's cool. We can always pick this up next time if it's too late for anyone. But yeah,
and yeah, it's like this stuff. If you want to do it over Messenger, like in between the sessions, we can take care of all this individual like buying and selling stuff.
yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Although everyone's gonna miss out on my brilliant role playing. I had practiced out a whole, doing some wheeling and dealing for getting and getting a loan.
The price of gourds. Bartering over the price of a shovel. How much is a shovel? It's I don't know, 5 gold pieces. 5 gold pieces. 5 for a shovel. Good Lord, do you know what I can buy for 5 gold? Fine, whatever. Fine, I'll pay it. I'll pay 5 gold pieces.
500 barrels of salted herring.
Right.
carried, and it's going to be carried around for 10 days by my team of hired laborers.
Well, I love that when the campaign we were playing with Wayne that I was running, and the guy is like, yeah, he's like, I go to the marketplace. Yeah, okay, I want to buy a shovel. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, the 5 gold. 5 gold for a shovel? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, holy shit! Like, I don't know. I'll pay him a gold piece. I'm like, roll. He's like, you failed. He wants. He'll say 4. 4. Fine. Fuck it. 4. Jesus Christ! I can't believe I'm paying 4 gold for a fucking shovel. Here's your 4 gold. Do I have the shovel? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I asked the guy, "Where's the nearest graveyard?"
Yeah, that was awesome. Like haggling over the price of a shovel for like a good 5 minutes, and then finally the deal is done. The very next thing he asks him, "So, where's the nearest graveyard?"
The merchant is like, "What? What? What? Wait, what? I just sold you, fuck." So yeah, we can take care of, if there's any, type of like equipment, things like that you guys want to buy instead of, I don't want to say, taking up game time, but, it's all stuff that hopefully we can, get the minutia aside, and then as a group we can come together and we'll have all the individual shopping lists taken care of.
So we'll fence everything. However, is there anything that people? Is there anything? Do we want to keep those 2 vials of poison, or do we want to try and sell those as well? Because I know those are a little tricky.
What was that? Say that again.
Do we want to keep those 2 vials of poison, or do we want to try and sell those as well?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
I feel like we should actually.
Do we really want them to know that
they are super valuable?
Yeah, so they're super valuable and they're super illegal. So maybe let's keep those for now. And if we find someone if we want to get rid of them in the future and we find someone really trustworthy, then we can sell them to them. But I don't think we should try and sell them to these guys just yet.
Yeah.
I would not sell haggis to a slayer such as you.
I will say so those of you that know the Emporium, you know that so they are a fence. They're one of the I guess I don't want to say better known, but for those in the know, they are one of the more reputable fences in the area. They specialize in gems. That is their specialty, stolen gems. Now they do fence other things as well. But there are very few people, but Grin would know this, and I think, let's see, Riz and I'm sure Riz and Lucius would probably know as well that the Callum Jewel Emporium is run by the Thieves Guild, and if there's anybody who might be interested in buying some fucking poison, the Thieves Guild would probably be the one to do it. So it's it might be one of those, hey, can I talk to your manager? I have something that I think some people might be interested in, some people that you might know. because we might know some people that have some things of a certain interest for certain people. Yeah, that sort of a thing.
I mean, do we have any poisoners? Like, do we have anyone in our group that knows poison? Like, do we even
there
do
may
we
be
know?
one or two of us that are familiar with
Yeah.
it.
I
Oh,
mean,
and I actually found. Let me. I'm gonna bring this up because I found because like for people who have herbalism kits, healing kits, poisoners kits, alchemy kits. It's like, what the fuck do you do with it? I actually found a really cool homebrew that I want to incorporate. So you can make poisons, make healing potions, make all sorts of fucking awesome shit. I'm gonna put the here's the link.
yeah, because Grin's got a jeweler's kit. Because he's got jeweling or jewelers or whatever proficiency in that.
There you go. This particular list only covers alchemy, poison, and I think is it herbalism.
Cool.
But it's got like different recipes, learning new recipes, how much it costs to make. But you can make some fucking really cool shit. Yeah. So if you have there's the first thing is all alchemy. Then I think the next one is, and alchemy is awesome. You can make some fucking crazy ass potions. Herbalism makes you can do all sorts of like healing potions, potions of resistance, antitoxins, potion of shape shifting, potions of strength, stuff like that. And then for the poisoner's kit, yeah. Awesome stuff. Like one of them called liquid paranoia.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fucking
Different
really
poisons are great for someone who's creative on how to use them.
Oh yeah, and like
There's a lot of really cool assassin books out there.
Oh yeah, so it requires skill checks. It requires, and the main thing is you need a recipe, but you gain recipes. You start with 3, what they call them, common recipes, and then as you gain in your proficiency level, you can research and get more recipes. But then, like when you are crafting stuff.
Yeah, poison. The very rare recipes has midnight tears.
There it is.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So, I mean, yeah, we won't sell the 2 doses of poison, but we'll sell absolutely everything else. It's not magical.
Correct. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I love this. I love the fact that somebody fucking put in the time to create this shit, because I'm just like, yeah, because it's like, Black Sky River, he's got a poisoner's kit, and he's also got I think like a trapping kit or something like that. So it's kind of like, well, what the fuck do I do with it? I don't know exactly what the hell to do with it. But then I was planning on bringing this up to Alan. Like, this is some cool shit. Yeah, it's got all the different fucking shit that you need. Like how to harvest shit. Yeah, it's pretty badass. And I would like to incorporate this to you guys as well. So if you do have downtime, you got money, and you want to like create some shit, go for it. Like, super fun. I haven't read through the entire thing entirely, so I do reserve the right to amend or veto something if it seems like it's completely broken. But so far, from what I've read so far, it seems like a definite win.
Cool.
But other than that, yeah, we can end it here. Here, I'll make a note that PCs are in Little Kalimshan Bazaar and at the Kalim Jewel Emporium.
Yeah, I might have to like offline, like I might ask you, how much, I don't know. We took tapestries and vases and stuff, and I have a lot of stuff written down, but some of the stuff, like I don't know how much it's worth.
Sure. Yeah. If you have questions, basically, I gave you the percentage that he's willing to pay. You find that more than fair. And for any of the stuff that you have listed, that's what he'll give you. If you have any questions on prices of things, just hit me up and I'll get that to you.
Well, or if you want, you can just say like you fence all the shit and you get X gold pieces.
Well, yeah, I mean, I literally like you have a much more accessible list of shit than I do. Like it's so like because you have everything written down, everything that I have is like spread out through this fucking book.
Yeah.
And in like like files on the fucking computer. So
let's see. So 80% of the price of a sausage is a salted fish.
Salted fish.
And another salted fish.
Oh, 2 salted fish.
3 salted fish.
Is it a matching set? Yeah. Oh no. Sorry, 2 different salted fish. I almost had the matching set. But that was fun. You guys got places. Things happened. Favors were called in. A long rest happened for the first time ever, or well, second time. But yeah, good shit. We got places. Things happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens when we venture back down there after 8 hours.
Yep. It's like time is probably not on your side, but at the same time, you can only go so long before needing to rest, recuperate, get new shit. So,
holy crap! Right. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on in the chat, in the Twitch chat? There's
people talking about the slap heard around the world.
It doesn't matter. I had an opinion, and apparently it sucks. So I'm done.
I don't know. I think everybody has an opinion, and they're all valid. Like there's a lot of different meat on this story.
There's a lot of different things, but apparently to this audience, I suck. So I will not bring it up again.
Well, not just only to the audience, Alan. I mean, we all think everybody here sucks.
You're all losers. That's why I keep showing up.
I saw this meme and it just made me laugh, and it is so fucking true. It said it had like civilians and they're all kind of like talking together, and then it said veterans and they're all talking together, and it said civilians will talk nice to your face and talk shit about you behind your back. Veterans will talk shit to your face and talk nice about you behind your back.
Right.
I'm like, that is so fucking true.
Good night, everybody.
So, sorry if I talk shit to your face.
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting topic of discussion. Yeah, I looked at it as, I was like, man, yeah, I mean, if somebody talked shit about my wife, I would, absolutely fucking pop them one too. Yeah, I'm just like,
I mean, listen, listen. Here's my thing. Like, I don't think that. I mean, I won't speak to the right or wrong, the moral nature of that whole violent confrontation. I will say that, like, when you're dealing with it in this public of a forum, there needs to be consequences for that stuff, or you're saying that it's okay. And like that's really my concern. Like first of all, like some people wouldn't have reacted as well as Chris Rock did to it. Right, like Coobs. Coobs is one of my best friends, and one time he slapped me in the face, and I immediately responded by slapping him right back without any thought or hesitation. Bap, bap. And he looked at me and he was like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You hit me in the face." And he was like, "No, that's not the game we play when we're in the army. Like we slap each other at the weird like so that you can't get like the response back."
If someone slaps you in the face, oh, that was a good one, but I'm gonna fucking get you later.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know these rules. I don't care about these rules. I respond in kind immediately. And so like I was thinking like, man, like if somebody had done that to me on public TV, I don't think that my ego would allow me to not respond in not equal but even greater violence. I would have to dominate that person on TV, like, and I might not even think about it long enough to like be rational. And so,
Oh yeah.
like my whole point is that if you're gonna do that to somebody, do it off the fucking camera.
I'm like, do it on the camera, off the camera. Like, I think it was a absolute like gut, visceral, fucking like genuine reaction. Which, holy shit, in Hollywood, goddamn, like if that was scripted, like yes, they both deserve fucking Oscars. But and brilliant too, because nobody has talked about the Oscars this much since I can't fucking remember when. Since the last time they fucked up and they said Moonlight won the fucking Academy Award, and they're like, just kidding, La La Land did. But it's only when they fuck up that people give a shit. But no, yeah, like it was a supernatural reaction, and the thing that stuck out to me was because they kept on panning back and forth. Like he makes the joke, and at first Will's kind of chuckling along, and Jada Pinkett Smith, she obviously is not fucking laughing. She is not. So I think at first Will's kind of like, okay, like if I'll laugh about it. Sure, we can have a joke about it. And once he saw that his girl was like hurt by it, he was like, all right, time to do some shit. And I would be the same way. I'd be like, all right, like, okay, cool. I can have a sense of humor about this. Oh, wait, no, that fucking hurt. All right, fucking, well, we will rectify this.
I think like once, if you are arguing with someone over whatever it is you're arguing about, once it gets to a point where you become like physically violent, you just the person who becomes violent just lost the argument. Like they don't have anything. I mean, and that it's different, if it's like, Coobs, like if you're with a group of people where the whole thing is you slap each other around, like that's different because that's your own sort of thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Cultural norms.
Yeah, but if
it's like football teams in the locker room.
It's slapping the ass, it's sort of a headbutt kind of thing. But like for I don't really know exactly what happened other than all the shit that was on the internet, but as soon as Will Smith went up and smacked Chris Rock, I'm like, well, he lost the argument. He showed that he can't do anything other than be physically aggressive. I mean, he didn't really get it.
He didn't have a microphone. But again, like I think that's true. But at some point, it's an interesting thing. Like because at this point now, it's been made clear, if you talk shit about Will Smith's wife in front of him, you're asking for a fight. So now every other person is gonna, like, at this point, if any other comedian, if anybody else talks any shit about his wife, I would look at it as, okay, you're asking for a fucking fight. It's kind of like it's like
primitive. It's unevolved. It
doesn't matter.
This is ancient. This is caveman shit. Like,
but it's also instinctual.
It's true. It's like if I'm at a bar and a guy comes up and he sees that Courtney and I are together and he hits on her in front of me. He's not really hitting on her. He's picking a fight with me. Because that is exactly what that's doing. Because like there was one time when we went out with her cousin and her cousin's husband, and I was at the bar getting drinks, and they were all playing washers. You have like a washer on a string, you're trying to hang it on a nail at a bar. And I come back, and there's a guy, he's got his arm around his shoulder, and he's like going, okay, so what you want to do is you want to swing the washer, and you want to try to, and Courtney's like, okay, I think I get it. And I'm holding the drinks, I'm just kind of standing back, and I'm watching. I'm like, okay. And then he looks over and he sees me, and I just kind of nod. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he goes, oh, shit. Okay. Hey, well, you guys have a good night. Hey, it was really great meeting you. And he was like, hey, thanks. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. And he turned around and walked away, which was the right thing to do. Because if he had sat there with his arm around my girl, I would have put the drinks down and knocked his fucking teeth out. And I think he knew exactly that too, because it's just like then it's like a respect thing. It's like you're blatantly disrespecting me. So, am I going to take it or am I going to do something about it? And in my case, I was just like, oh yeah. And because I've had, guys come up to me at the bar when Courtney and I are together and they've said, hey, I don't mean any disrespect, but your girl is, really pretty. And I'm like, no, hey, that's awesome. And I'm always like, no, you're doing it the right fucking way. Like,
I know. But I mean, so might makes right.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. And especially, I mean, in a.
I mean, that's disappointing. It's too bad that humans are so primitive.
So
that
like
we have to
that's
resolve
we that's
that.
what we were just that's what I was
Yeah.
kind of just talking about. Like
I mean,
here's
we're fucking apes.
my problem with that is that like we aren't just apes, right?
We are just
Right.
apes, yeah.
So
I
like
mean,
the thing is that like
people are not as evolved as
if it's
people think
okay
they
to
are.
walk up to somebody in public and slap them and suffer no consequences, then what's going to happen when somebody reacts in kind or escalates? Like who then is at fault? Like what if that guy gets slapped and then somebody else gouges out an eye? Like the guy that got slapped retaliates but ends up gouging out the eye of the person that attacked him. Right? Now this guy's down an eye. It's no longer just about some disrespect. We're talking about some permanent maiming. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Right? Now,
yeah,
does he
I
get in
wouldn't go.
trouble for defending himself, or does right?
Oh
Like
yeah, no. I mean,
so from legal standpoint, like you can't walk up and slap people. You can't do it.
I look at it as like if somebody's going to be blatantly disrespectful, again, it's the whole talk shit, get hit. Like if you're talking shit and being blatantly disrespectful for me, you got to know.
So
that
if
part
they're
of the
actually
consequence could be I might fight you, and then but I also have to know that if I go up and smack you, this could result in a fucking all-out brouhaha, and yeah, like
or
bad
that you
shit
could
could
go
happen
to
up and including
jail.
death.
Or that you could go to
for
jail,
sure.
right? Like
Yes.
so like the thing is that like if someone's saying something that's harmful to you, there's a legal recourse for that too. If they're writing it, that's one thing. If they're saying it, it's another. But either way, there are ways to resolve that, other than with violence.
Yeah, so the Westboro Baptist Church, which everyone's heard of, they're the God hates fags group. That this church of not even really a church. They make all of their money off of going to places and pissing people off so much that the people attack them, and then they have their lawyers sue those people, and they collect cash rewards, and that's how they make their money. That's entirely how they make their money. And it's perfectly legal. And I mean,
that's playing the system.
It is. Yeah. It's totally playing the system. But they go to places that they know people. They go to the funeral of a gay soldier, and they start they attack. They insult gay people. They're hoping that people will punch them, because then they get their lawyers on them, and the lawyers sue them in court, and the lawyers get them money, and it gives them more money to go out and do stuff. It's a weird kind of fucked up system, but yeah.
I like the meme that said if Will Smith would have slapped Dave Chappelle, this came out like this afternoon. It said if he would have slapped Dave Chappelle probably would still not be done telling Jada Pinkett Smith jokes right now.
You're like, hold on, I got a couple more.
Yeah.
Best stretch out your hammies, because this shit's about to get weird.
I mean, and sadly, I think that like Will Smith, like whatever, there's been like a cascade of jokes about him and Jada that would never have gotten the traction that they would have had he I saw these two guys review it, two black guys, and they're talking about black culture and how it's different, and how he can understand Will Smith doing that. But then they are also like, but you don't do it that way. You don't do it in public. You don't do it when it's on camera. You hear the joke, you get pissed off, you stew on it a little bit. After the show, you find him in the back alley, challenge him to a fight, allow him to puss out, and then you got your honor all back. But it's like, yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
It is. And yeah, I think
but I do think it was like I was recently watching so in sports Jalen Ramsey, a cornerback, Pro Football player, was trying to guard Steve Smith, a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Panthers.
And Steve Smith during the game, he caught, I don't know, 8 catches for 90 yards or something like that. It wasn't bad. Definitely burned Ramsey on a couple times. And then at some point there was a fumble, and Ramsey came up and hit Steve Smith in the back. So Smith immediately, and he's a little dude. Smith is not a big guy at all. Ramsey had like 5 inches on him. He jumps up in the air and he's like goes after him. And apparently Ramsey said he goes, I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. And so Steve Smith goes, all right, hey, I'll see you after the game. And so after the game, like immediately, as soon as the game ended, Steve Smith walked up and he got right in his face and he's like, you want to talk shit now? You want to fucking talk shit now? You know, and Ramsey's just kind of like walking, like acting like he's not hearing him. And then he goes back to the locker room. He's like, oh yeah. He goes, no, I got in his head, man. He's like, I dominated him, blah, 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 blah. And Steve Smith's like, yeah. He goes, he's a little bitch. He goes, I went up and confronted him. He had every chance to say shit to me. And he fucking shut his mouth and went back to the locker room. Then he starts talking. Yeah. So I was just like, yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, if you got shit to say, fucking say it. You know, if not. Yeah.
But
So,
Steve Smith handled it the exact way that those two guys said that that's how you handle your shit. You know, you finish what you're doing, you don't make a scene, and then you take care of biz. But now the whole fucking world knows about it.
So primitive.
Yeah.
So uncivilized.
Violence is inherent in the system.
I just feel like I'm the Obi-Wan Kenobi after shooting General Grievous in the heart with the blaster, and he just looks at the blaster and throws it. So uncivilized.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, violence is sometimes the answer. I mean, that's reality. Violence is sometimes like I was saying in the chat, you know, there is no system of legal resolution for international dispute, right? I mean, they try to, but it doesn't. And so nations settle their disputes with power.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
I mean,
essentially,
it's unfortunate. It's too bad that that's the way it is. But yeah, you're right. And I mean, and Mark, you're right. Like the might makes right. It really does.
Sometimes, yeah.
The country that's the bigger iron fist will crush the country that's the smaller iron fist. That's just the way it is. And the world knows it. And that's why they keep, you know, the problem is, you know, there's sort of one way of thinking is we can be better than this. And there's another way of thinking that says, this is the best we can do. And I feel like we should go towards the path of we can be better than this, but there's a huge group of people who are like, stop fighting human nature. We are apes, we're brutal, violent apes, and we should embrace being brutal, violent apes. And I'm like, what future is that?
Well, so like there's some, like, here's my thought on that. Like, honestly, I'm like, we are a warlike people, and frankly, we've become the dominant species on this planet because of it. And And the reality of it is that, you know, while there's really good probability of other alien life out there that's intelligent and developed, like, there's every bit as equal likelihood that they are also apex predators from wherever they came from and developed as such because they're warlike. And so, you know, just because we make first contact does not necessarily mean that it's going to be a good thing. And so for me, I'm like, well, and it's probably good that we spent the last 30, 40 years at war. You know, that's kind of the way I think, because the reality of it is the universe is hostile.
Oh yeah, have you ever read Heinlein's Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're basically quoting the book. I mean, that's essentially what Heinlein was writing, is that the reason we're aggressive is because that's the way you win.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way the species survives, is by being
see Orson Scott Card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Same exact thing. But what a sad and pathetic thing that is.
Well, so like not really though. Like I mean, it's the way that it is because it has to be. Like House Harkonnen was able to take down House Atreides because they were more brutal, right? They were willing to do
the bad things.
Yeah,
they were willing
to do. And I stand by my point. What a sad and pathetic thing that is.
Now, here's what I will say. The inverse of that is that some at least slight force of good could be the one that is in that dominant role, right? If you get the right, I mean, maybe America isn't the best country on the planet, but it's a heck of a lot better than some of the alternatives for who's in charge, right? And that's,
yeah.
You know,
like what Jay was saying.
Yeah.
Jay was saying, he's like, I've been in a lot of places around the world, and unfortunately, in a lot of those places, it's the only reason you have shit is because somebody else isn't there saying, I can take that shit from you.
Yeah.
That is the vast majority of the places in the world where it's like, yeah, you get shit because you can take it or you can hold it. Is it sad? Sure. Like, it'd be great if everybody just agreed to act on their best behavior, but that just doesn't always happen. Like,
Dude, when I was when I was in Iraq, I gave this little toy to this little kid, and their culture is very much might makes right. But this bigger kid walked over and like fucking hit the little kid that I gave him something with a stick, and took his toy and walked away with it. And I saw that and I was like, that bigger kid just fucking bullied the fuck out of that smaller kid. So I walked over to that kid and I fucking kicked him, and then took the toy back and then gave it back to the little kid because I'm bigger than that kid.
You showed him.
I'm an adult, and he's 13, and I gave it back to the 9-year-old.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's the fucking you know, it's the whole
9-year-old probably got his ass whipped later, but you know, that wasn't
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, part of the reason why it's sort of the dark reason why I never wanted to have kids is because why would anyone bring another human being willingly into this world? What a horrible thing to do to a person. And that sort of is, you know, the thing that it's sort of the way humanity is, you know, we're a dark, horrible species. Humans are probably the worst thing that ever happened to this planet.
You know, on the topic of violence though, I'm not a real big fan of Bill Maher, the HBO guy, only because he's so far left and he's like, if you don't think the way I do, you're wrong and stupid, and I hate
the comedian.
Yeah. I don't like people who have that kind of thing. But his show came on a couple days ago and I watched it, and he talked about Zelensky and how all the women are taking to social media and talking about how they just have this big crush on him. They're like, okay, if you're a man and you have a woman in your life, just know that all women in your life have something of a crush on him. And then there's another quote that was like, Zelensky gives me a lady boner. And then there's another quote where it's like, I will fuck Zelensky. And the guy goes into it and he was like, well, why? Like, why are people doing this? Because he's staying and fighting and being a man. And he points out, he's like, yes, there are some women who are fighting. He goes, but if you look at the refugee trains, like, they are all women and children who are leaving. All of the men are staying back and they're all fighting.
And that's
then he
why I
goes
get
on
30 cents more an hour than any dame out there.
Wasn't the point. It's a good point though, but yeah.
Because for some reason, if a ship is sinking or a building is burning down, for some fucking reason, I gotta stay behind. Well, everything with a vagina gets to leave out the fucking front door.
That's at least worth a quarter an hour more.
But he actually goes on and he makes a decent point where he talks about how our culture talks about toxic masculinity.
Oh, yeah.
And how everybody is trying to stop men from being so manlike and be more sensitive and do all the feelings and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, there's a lot of toxicity in masculinity, and there's also a lot of strength, power, and stuff that is useful to have when the shit goes down.
There was a really interesting Twilight Zone episode, the original Twilight Zone, where this alien species comes to, you know, they arrive at Earth, and they're way more powerful, and they're like, you have to stop what you're doing, otherwise we'll annihilate you. And all of mankind is like, you know, we have to stop warring with each other, you know, we have to stop fighting with each other. And so they do all these peace treaties, all the countries like start talking to each other, and they make peace, and they settle all their differences. And then they go to the aliens and they're like, we've accomplished it. We're a world at peace with each other. And the aliens are like, no, you guys need to stop. What we wanted was for you guys to stop being at peace. You guys need to develop much more powerful weapons, otherwise you won't survive. And it was, typical Twilight Zone. It's like the irony is, the reverse. And it's like, yeah, they assumed we wanted to be more peaceful, but the aliens really want them to be more warlike.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it all comes back to the same thing. It's like, okay, I can accept that. I can accept that humanity, our best bet is to totally crush and conquer the enemy and see them driven before you and hear lamentations of the women. But wow, that's sad and pathetic. But we're just monkeys. We're monkeys.
I
That's all
mean,
we are.
like I guess I would say that, in my opinion, that there's probably a non-zero probability that we can get along peacefully. I just think that not there's a non-zero probability that we're going to have to fight because they are way too aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in that particular case, we need to be. It will be better for us that we are a warlike people if that situation was to arrive. And again, I think it's a non-zero probability. So it's something that I think that, well, there's a silver lining, right?
Well, and I
To
think
the fact that we're so brutal.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of times people just playing to their strengths. So if you get this society, where all of a sudden you get a guy and he knows he's not the smartest, he is not the most skilled, and so he's looking at all of his peers and saying, "Fuck, everybody here, they're smarter than I am. They're more skilled at what they do. They have more education." And he's like, "I have zero fucking chance. What chance do I have?" Well, wait a minute. I happen to be twice the size and strength of fucking every one of these other guys. So the only way I have of getting ahead is using my strength, which is strength. And so it's like the whole, hey, let common sense and wisdom prevail works great if you're gifted with common sense and wisdom, but for the brutes out there, they're just not going to get it, and they're going to say, well, hey, egghead, I'm fucking bigger and tougher than you are, so I'm going to take what you have, and if you try to stop me. And that's it's no different than well, it is different because you're not taking from somebody else in a literal fashion, but you're using your natural gifts of intelligence and perception and everything else, whether it's looks, charm, whatever, to get ahead. And they're saying, well, what do I have to get ahead? I'm big and I'm strong and I'm tough and I can take a punch or I can give a punch. All right, well, fucking
yeah. I mean,
I feel like you're
great.
quoting Revenge of the Nerds.
No, that actually is a really great point. Like,
yeah,
why, you're saying, being violent and being brutal is evil because you're saying that because you're not violent and brutal. That's not your gifts. That's my gifts. And so you're demonizing my gifts. But I mean, that's a good point.
Nietzsche talked about that. He talked about it as the inversion of power.
I think the overall thing is like, why does it have to be that humans fight against humans? Why does it always have to be competition? Can it never be cooperation? Can't we?
It's like the scarcity of resources. It's like, well, wait a minute. And I think it's probably ego, because you're looking at your neighbor and going, that guy's a fucking jackass. Why does he have a bigger house and a better car? Fuck that guy.
Is there a scarcity of resources though, or is it that a handful of people have
a perceived scarcity of resources?
Is it a handful of people have 99% of all resources, and the remaining 99% of people have to fight each other for the scraps that are left over? Or
is
that what it, I think that's what it really is. And people are thinking, no, it's a free for all. Nobody has advantage over anyone else. And I'm like,
well, no, that's not true. I mean, there's plenty of people with plenty of advantage over other people.
There is a handful of people who have everything.
Yeah.
And they will never ever give that up. And they will,
Well, yeah, and it's like the difference between equality and fairness. Like, some people think they're the same thing, and I'm like, they are absolutely not the same thing. Like, to say that everybody is equal is fucking laughable and ignorant. I'm like, everybody's not equal. That doesn't mean everybody shouldn't be treated fairly. Everybody should be treated fairly, but to say that everybody's equal is fucking absurd. You know, I think, you know, that's like saying, oh yeah, you know, the world's smartest brain surgeon is just as equal as, you know, the fucking guy who got kicked by a fucking donkey at age 6, and now, you know, he drools and eats paste. You know, and saying, no, they're equal. No, they're fucking not equal. And no fucking, in no planet
In
are
no
those two
way
fucking
that you
equal.
can measure capacity are they equal.
Right. Now, and by, you know, I'm of course I'm not advocating that, you know, one is, you know, should be treated more fairly than the other. They both deserve fair treatment given their situation.
Relative,
But to say,
yeah.
no, you know, if he gets a job as a brain surgeon, then it should be equal, and we should give this other guy a job as a brain surgeon. Because if I was the fucking patient, I'd be like, get that fucking donkey kid out of here. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I
No,
mean,
I want the fucking smart guy.
I mean, that was a Chris Rock joke. He's like, you know, equal. Yeah, there's differences in wealth. If Bill Gates, he's like, Oprah Winfrey is rich. Bill Gates is wealthy. If Bill Gates woke up with Oprah Winfrey's money, he would jump out of the window screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. I mean, it's
and like, you know, the thing is that you brought up a point. You think that there's a handful of people that have control over a majority of the resources, and I won't dispute that that's a possibility. In fact, it's a pretty good one. But I'll say that it's in every likely scenario you're going to end up with that. Like in every instance, like that's all going to get concentrated down into a small power base anyways. So the question is what can the public find agreeable to it? Right? So and in different societies they have different ways of figuring this out, right? We are a Western culture that loves individualism. We love to measure people by the quality of their thinking. And so, like, we also live in a society that is governed from the bottom up, right? Like, politicians make decisions based on what their constituents want right now, and they don't do it. No, this is not. I mean, okay, you can disagree with it, but this is really how it is, right? This is the way our system is designed. Is the people at the bottom of the pyramid are supposed to elect people that are then to act on their behalf, right? And say in China, they don't look at it the same way. They don't think about it that you should be, the quality of your thinking doesn't matter. What is most important is the collective, and making sure that we plan out the future for the collective in the best way possible, right? Yeah. We need to make decisions strategically and over the long term, whereas Americans think tactically and short term.
Yes.
And that's, I mean, that's not a good or bad thing. There's pros and cons to both, right?
Yeah,
but they are different ways to think about it.
I've had that same thought many times. I'm like, is it better to have a politician who just absolutely 100% of the time goes with what his base, you know, what the majority of his constituency wants, however absurd or fucking horrific that might be. Mm-hmm. But it's his job to represent those people. So is it his obligation to do so? You know, absolutely literally, like if they say, we think that we should all burn to death because that's the fucking, you know, that's what we want to do because the high god Zigzag said that we should do this. And so if he's like, all right, fucking, if that's what y'all want to do, or is it the job of a, you know, representative in a representative form of government not to necessarily do what the constituency wants to do, but what is in his opinion as the elected person, as the elected conscience, what he thinks is the best, smartest thing to do, albeit it might not be the majority decision.
And usually it's a blend of both, but the way we're designed is for the former rather than the latter. And it's the other way around in Eastern culture, right? They say we're going to figure out who the best person to lead is, and then we're going to say, do what you think is best for all of us. Yeah. And
then
that's the way.
Say, shut up and do your
shit. And then
but
then they also have the deference, and they look at their leaders as a patriarchal society, right? Like that's father. They look at their leaders as father. Father knows best.
That's also an interesting thing. The U.S. military, I have a lot of military clients, and they all tend to have that same sort of that Eastern philosophy as far as leadership. It's like, you know, like Jay was saying, you know, because when I would talk to him about tattoos, he was like, hey, you're the boss. You know what you're doing. Hey, like you're the guy that does this. I'm going to shut up and you do what you fucking do. And I heard that multiple times from people in the military. I'm like, that's an interesting, sort of philosophy you have. And they're like, yeah, no, we find the best person for the job and we shut the fuck up, let them do their job, and get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah,
and
allow
I'm like,
the specialist to be the specialist, for sure.
Yeah. They're like, if
why
I know I'm
every
not the
single
best
thing
guy
that
for
the
the
doctors
job,
told me.
yeah, if I'm not the best guy for the job, I'm not gonna fucking say shit because I know I'm not the best fucking guy for the job. That's Joe. Joe knows what the fuck he's doing, so I'm gonna fucking shut up and let Joe do his fucking job. Now I'm like, that's a very very interesting way of going about it.
So I mean, technically, America is this this Republican democracy, this representative sort of Republican democracy,
Democratic Republic.
Yeah, Democratic Republic, where
representative republic.
We elect the idea, supposedly the idea is we elect people who represent our interests, and they don't always vote entirely with what the majority says, but we elect what we believe to be the smartest people. So it is sort of that idea that it's not entirely the line of we're electing the father to say tell us what to do, but we are kind of saying we are putting our faith in these people to give us what is probably the best of what it is. In reality, though, that's the idea, is that that's what American politics is. The reality of American politics, we've been a plutocracy for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, I think you can read newspapers from 150 years ago, and
we've been a plutocracy forever. It's the people who have money and power have created the laws that govern this nation since its inception. And I mean, there have been little steps here and there that kind of give hand waving to sort of, the people, and the people said that.
And every once in a while, once in a while an outsider gets in, and they're like, hey, we got Jesse Ventura as the fucking governor. Holy shit.
It's the wealthy corporations who call the shots, and they've been calling the shots since the country was founded. And
it's a kakistocracy.
Yeah. Corporate fashion. Yeah. I haven't even looked at the chat, the Twitch chat. We're still on. We're still on. I haven't been paying attention because there's like 800 billion comments that have been going through. But yeah, we're a corporate. It's a plutocracy. We're run by the rich in this country, and you can see it. Studies have been done on it. The laws that get passed they're not laws that are popular. They're not laws that are, you look at every public group that's out there. The only laws, the laws that get passed are the laws that big moneyed corporate interests want to get passed. 99% of them.
Or things that will keep the people who are in the political positions rich for the rest of their life.
And you know what? As a society, we allow this. Right?
Yep.
We don't revolt.
Yeah, it's bread and circuses.
And the reason why is because it's still the best system for the collective whole that we've been able to find. Right? So like if we thought we had a better one, we would fucking overthrow the government and steal all the money back.
It's only the best system because people have been convinced that
I said it's the best one we can find. I didn't say it was the best
one.
Well, yeah. There's not a better one out there.
Yeah. We have way like we'll complain ad nauseum about everything that needs to change, but at the end of the day, is it enough to risk worth dying for? Like when you see like violent revolutions like the Russian Revolution and the French Revolution. It's when you had people that were literally starving to death, literally people dying on the side of the fucking street. Yep. And so people were like, I have nothing left to lose. I am literally going to be dead in a week unless something changes. So fuck it. Storm the gates. If you shoot me, great. You shaved 3 days off my life.
Yeah.
Congrats.
The U.S. has never. We haven't been anywhere close to that. Anytime I hear like some of these, conspiracy right wingers say we're at the verge of a civil war, I'm like, we aren't anywhere close to a fucking civil war. Yeah. You can still. Yeah. You guys are still watching TV, eating your TV.
Oh yeah.
Dinners,
I got internet. I got a big screen TV. I got a fucking car.
Like your kids aren't starving. Your car is full of gas. we aren't anywhere close to a fucking revolution. We aren't.
Oh yeah, we complain
nowhere
about minor
close.
inconveniences, but overall, it is decidedly rosy. Like compared to the fucking rest of the world, we have it really, really fucking good.
Do I have
could it improve? Absolutely, but do we still have it really fucking good?
My bread box is full of bread, and my circus box is full of circuses.
I mean,
Yeah,
as
exactly.
a result of American capitalism and innovation, the entire world can now be banked via their cell phone, right? Like the unbanked are getting banked now because we have a capitalist society that fosters innovation. And so while it may not be a perfect society, it still led to the best development for the human race ever. Hard stop.
It
Hard
fosters
stop.
it fosters a very specific certain kind of innovation.
I don't know about that, man. Like we've created the internet. You know what I mean? Everybody has that, right? Like that's something that's a technology that's out there that is free for everyone to use, as long as you have to maybe pay somebody to hook up as an on-ramp, but you don't have to pay per click. It's just a free thing that's out there. It's a technology that we came out with.
Free. Wait, free. I don't have free internet. You have free internet?
Yes.
You really? You have free internet?
I actually, matter of fact, I get paid to use the internet.
Well, send me a message.
You got one of those blue gem things or something.
No, it's called the Brave browser, and they pay you in basic attention tokens for your use of the internet. They figure they're going to put a value on what your time is worth while you're surfing, and then
they sell you ads, right?
No, there is none. Well, there might be, but I haven't seen any. I don't use it all that often, honestly, because I still pay for internet. Right?
I thought I had
about
about 25 minutes ago about the whole violence thing and property and stuff like that was I watched a documentary a few years ago, and it was talking about archaeology, and when they found like people from like thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years ago, when they had the hunter-gatherer societies, like skeletons that they dig up from those times, there was no violence because people would tribe together and then they would like wander around and they would hunt and gather, and that's how they lived. The very first evidence that they have of violence is when people learned how to farm. People learned how to farm, and then next thing you know, you have different groups of farming communities. And if one community who is farming and they're depending on those crops hit a drought or a flood or something like that, now they don't have food and now they're in trouble. So they would band together and they would go find a different farming community, beat the fuck out of them, and take their crops.
Yeah.
I would argue it might just be that the hunter gatherers were too busy being fucking hungry.
Well,
hey, there's people over there. Got shit. Yeah, I'm hungry, man. I gotta figure out how to kill that fucking buffalo. Have you seen that thing? It's like a fucking car with fur. I gotta kill that thing with a fucking knife and this goddamn bow.
It's a rock. Just rock.
Like it's a rock. I gotta kill that fucking thing if I want to eat shit.
Life was dangerous enough just to feed yourself and your family. You needed the assistance of your fellow man in order to do it. Not once we evolved to the point where we didn't need to do that anymore, then now there is something to lose and something to gain. And so people, being the elevated creatures that they are, start the calculus again.
The interesting one thing that I hadn't thought of that is actually really interesting is the idea of ownership. The idea of ownership didn't really come along until people finally realized where children came from. So for a long time, primitive people, they didn't know where babies came from. Babies would just
spring out of vaginas.
Yeah, every once in a while, here's a baby. Where does baby
come from?
And the whole community would raise the child because it was like, well, we're all a community together, all the men, all the women, and suddenly a woman has this thing come out of her, and
her belly's getting bigger.
It's a new part. But eventually humans they caught on to the fact that, oh, if a certain male and a certain female are together, that male creates that thing, and it hit the ownership thing, and that's where it all started to go downhill. That's where it all started, that's my child. That's not your child. And
Wait a minute. Maybe it has something to do with all this fucking we're doing.
Yeah, I will raise I will use my resources to help my child, and I will take away my resources to help anyone else's child. My child should have advantages over your child. My child should live. Your child should die. That was sort of the weird sort of. Yeah, I had never thought about it before until evolutionary biologists sort of brought up the whole theory of like, yeah, ownership. For a long time in primitive humans, they didn't know where babies just appeared, and the whole community was like, well, this is a new member of our community, so we all take care of it equally, until they figured it out. Then that shattered communities. Yep, kids ruin everything.
So we've determined that the answer is to de-evolve into a hunter-gatherer society and
Fight Club.
Be hungry.
But what that'll mean
We will
is
wear leather clothes that will last the rest of our lives.
well, and we have to let the weak die.
I get to be the humongous.
Well, it is now past 1 a.m. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning at some point.
Good luck.
I am going to hit the hay. Thanks for staying around and having a very stimulating conversation, though. That was fun. And I can't believe we actually had some people stay along, like Duck Duck. Well, yeah, Duck Duck. I'm surprised you're not fast asleep.
and Badger on the green too, and Duck Duck apparently in leather.
Oh yes, that was the whole. We will wear leather clothes that will last the rest of our lives.
All right.
Our ancestors will be pounding out pemmican on the highways that were or on the asphalt that was once the highways.
Asphalt.
All right. And on that note, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.
Say bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Later, Duck Duck.
Possibly
Later,
Thursday,
Heather.
if not, definitely next Monday.
Bye-bye.